WBZ-FM and HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group Station.
Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Kansas City Royals snapped the Red Sox 7-game winning streak last night, carried a 7-3 win at Fenway Park. Jonathan India hit a 3-run homer for the visitors. Dustin May allowed 3 runs and 6 hits in 3 2/3 innings in his Red Sox debut. They'll have tonight off, and then they'll open up a 3-game weekend series in San Diego tomorrow night. Now, before last night's game, the Sox announced they'd signed top prospect Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million contract extension that includes a club option. There are $100 million more in escalators possible based on where he lands in the Rookie of the Year voting, the MVP race, and All-Star selections. Turning to football, the Patriots held a joint practice with the Washington Commanders yesterday morning in Foxborough. The big story of the day was not that the Patriots held their own against a very good team. It was Mike Vrabel who took a cut to his cheek trying to break up a fight after a play. His quarterback took notice.
That's what we're trying to build, I think. And it starts with the coach, starts with the head coach, the intensity, bringing it every day, taking no crap, when we're out there on the field. But also it comes at a time where with our guys offensively and getting over there and getting some tussles and kind of having some penalties and extra after the whistle can get us in trouble. But for mentality, I like it. I think that's what you want. I almost got in there, but I think maybe another day, maybe. So we'll see.
The two teams will play an exhibition game against each other tomorrow night at Gillette Stadium. Also, the Commanders announced before the practice, hold-in wide receiver Terry McLaurin didn't make the trip to Foxborough. And in Celtics news, Jason Tatum was at the practice yesterday and a little less than 3 months removed from Achilles surgery, walking without a boot on that foot. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
New England plays here.
Down the right side, it's a separation. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
and Hardy
Who's Taylor the originator?
on 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How are we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Monday.
Well, I tell her the truth. I miss booty.
That problem is too large for the Sarge.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
And I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back.
25 glasses of soda.
Having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
This one goes out to the world, baby.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Whoa.
Hey, Al. We are Toucher and Hardy. Town Fair Tire Studio, 617-779-0985. If you want to watch us live, you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. If I would have known it was big news that Jason Tatum wasn't wearing a walking boot, I would have informed you he wasn't wearing a walking boot when I saw him last weekend at CVS.
You should have.
I didn't realize, well, first of all, that would have been a big betrayal of his freedoms as an individual resident of Newton.
Okay.
But also, I didn't know it was a big deal. I don't know why that's such a big deal.
Well, yeah, because I know how long you're supposed to be in a walking boot after you have Achilles surgery.
Yeah, that's the thing. And what does that mean, that he's not in a walking boot?
It's major surgery. There are no lasting effects. He was walking
There's no
normally.
lasting effects?
From the surgery, you would figure maybe he would still be in a walking boot 3 months out. I don't know how long you're supposed to have a boot on your foot either.
Well,
but
I would
think
imagine
it was
you-
encouraging.
I would
he's
imagine that
walking
you...
normally.
first of all, you're taking it like you broke the news.
No.
You're just reading news.
I'm explaining why I included it.
I don't care why you included it. That you're not the story. The story is that it's a story. That you're not that you're reporting it. It's that it's a story at all. I've heard this before. You're not the first person I've heard say this.
John was the first person, so as far as I'm concerned, it's his story. Good job, Wally.
Yeah, I know. He's like
Appreciate
acting
it.
like he like dug it up or something.
No, I see it.
I mean, he's getting all defensive of it, like it's his baby, like it's his Watergate. Like Jesus Christ!
I think he's defending why people might be interested in it.
No,
but
no.
I
no,
don't-
he countered that by saying, "I'm defending why I put it in my headlines." So let's get over that part. Okay. But the thing is that if you get Achilles surgery, I'd imagine 3 months after it, you're rehabbing it. Like that you would certainly be doing, like trying to strengthen. The issue is strengthening the Achilles, is that it's still prone to snapping again, and you got to build the muscle around it and all this stuff.
I think it would be more of a story if he showed up at camp and he was still wearing a boot.
I agree.
We'd be like, what the hell? Didn't he hurt that thing like in May?
Yeah, like when I saw him, I knew remembered that he got hurt, but I didn't think anything of him not having a walking boot on. That's why that was odd to me that it became a story. That's why, Jonathan.
Okay.
Since you got so defensive for no reason.
Clearly, I overreacted.
Look, and then he gets sarcastic.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
a
like
that's
it's like
a defense
that's
mechanism.
that's a defense mechanism, and it's also what do you call it when you
annoying?
Gaslighting. Well, it is annoying, but it's gaslighting is what it is too. Is that he makes a big deal about something, and then you call him out making a big deal about it, and then he gets sarcastic like he didn't make a big deal about it.
Yeah, I do that. I like it.
Well, both of you need to get into it. Get into why.
Let's go to therapy.
You know what? I'm going to have my reading at 8. Maybe this will be included.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, his AI reading is because a girl sent me this AI reading of a psychic AI ChatGPT psychic reading, and I read it on the air, and everyone, and myself included, thought it wasn't like incredibly far off. Like it was not. A lot of it was not unrelated to my personality, with a little bit of depth to it. So if you're a public figure, apparently ChatGPT can kind of read your tells or something like that and give you a psychic reading. So
somebody sent me mine too, and I read through the whole thing, and I did not care for it. I do not think I would be a good therapy patient.
You don't? You would question what? Well,
No.
first of all, if you find a therapist that analyzes you, let me know, because the only therapist I've ever had just sit there and charge you. What did I tell you it was? How many dollars? $20 a minute it was, or something like that. Like, I'm not kidding.
And they make you do all the work.
Well,
all of it.
Well,
no,
for the time that they actually speak and give you.
No, like total. Like I think it was something like $20 a minute or $10. And it's not, insurance didn't cover it, so I don't do it anymore. But so you go there, and no, in order to like analyze you, they'd have to ask you questions, and you'd have to obviously give them the information, which is flawed anyway. They're starting to scan brains, by the way. We're really in the dark ages of mental medicine right now, and psychiatrists will even admit that to you, because if you tear your Achilles, they do an MRI and find that the Achilles is torn, and then they do exploratory like stuff and find it, and then they go in and fix it. With your brain, they just basically the point I'm making with your brain, they just sit there and wait for you to like offer up all the information, and then they just sit there with that. So what I've always envisioned, and what I probably would still go to if this happened, is that if they asked you pointed questions leading to an analysis of yourself, and then they could give you some kind of like breakdown or like some kind of perceived based on their schooling reasons that you are the way you are, and then you could dig into those and try, like you would be like doing work. You would be really like making progress instead of just going in. And if someone goes, just talk, well, that's all stuff. I'm not that closed off a person. Like unless you're pushing me to get to the reason I'm feeling some way. Just telling you how I feel about something is not something I struggle to do with people. You might as well just be someone I know. So I've always found that therapy to be pretty much just stealing money.
Yeah. Yeah, where you go in there and do most of the talking and just kind of wait, and it seems like and I don't know. I haven't done it, but it seems like a lot of it is you talking stuff out, and a question or two is asked, and you just sit there and kind of like figure it out on your own. It's like, why don't you just tell me from the beginning?
And then if you challenge the person, then they act like all right, and then they'll like give you some pablum that is pretty obvious. They're just kind of regurgitating and repurposing information you already gave them, and you're like, well, I know that.
See, I've always thought that if I were in one of those situations, like in therapy, and like anything came out that I was talking about, I would immediately follow it up with, it's fine, though. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. I don't care. It's fine. And the one that the guy sent me pretty much speaks to that. Like, we'll get into it later. I'll throw a little bit of mine as much as I may not be able to read it, though.
Maybe you save it for Friday.
I might have to get
Maybe that's the cherry on top of this whole effing thing.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I did not like reading it.
Well, it's as insightful as anything I've paid for.
Yeah,
Mine
might be spot on. I can't tell. I'm too close. I don't need therapy. Okay.
Well, all right.
And there's also that tactic that therapists use where they the tactic that they're taught is not to say anything. Not to let big silences stay there, which I guess, but also that doesn't take much schooling. Just get a mute.
Yeah.
Just have some mute guys sit there and just wait for you to like talk
right.
Yeah, like wait for yourself to like come to your own conclusions. I do find that funny because like you go and you tell. I would find myself relaying like problems I was having, but those are problems that I was relaying to everyone.
Yeah,
in an annoying sense.
My experience with this is they influenced you. I had more conversation with mine than you did with yours.
I never had that.
She influenced me to go in a certain direction, and that's what led towards me discovering things.
Oh, okay. I've never had that.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I was in high school, I went to a therapist because I was having like all this anxiety. I'd just been really sick and missed a lot of school. Like I had real bad sickness, missed like 3 months of school. And it screwed me up. And I went there, and she goes, if you're having these like bad thoughts, just push them out of your brain. She literally, that's a quote. Just push them out of your brain. And I went, how? And she goes, just stop thinking them. Basically, and I'm like, huh? Well, no. Like that's like when someone tells a pitcher, throw strikes.
Yeah.
Oh. You want me to throw strikes?
Throw strikes, but don't give them anything good to hit.
But they say just this throw strikes. Oh, you mean that I've been wild, and if I throw strikes, that will help.
Yeah.
Throw harder, hit harder. Like, okay, great. That's great information. I found that, and then not only was it useless, it was also like crippling because I'm like, people can do that, like. You go to someone with a problem, they just go, "Oh, don't think that anymore." Like, "Oh, doctor, my stomach hurts." Well, just don't have it hurt anymore. Don't wish your stomach not to hurt. Oh,
you don't wish it away so much. I think I read this maybe in some scholastic volume. Might have been Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul. You just you take all those bad intrusive thoughts. You say, you know what? I'm going to put that in a box. I keep a box on my shelf, and that thought, that memory, whatever that thing is, I'm not throwing it away. I'm not trying to eliminate it from my life. I'm just going to put it in this box on the shelf, and I'll get to it later. So it's there, but it's set aside for it to be dealt with at some other time.
Oh,
you need a little box on a shelf.
What did they do before shelves and boxes?
Oh well, the cavemen.
Because there's like
killed each other with fire.
There's meditation techniques where they say you're not your thoughts into, know that these thoughts are passing, which is somewhat valuable, but also requires years and years and years of training the mind. This woman, I think, had like a half-assed understanding. She had gone to like a meditation class once for 45 minutes and then came out with the great realization. And then I'm like, why are you a therapist if you can do that? Like, you obviously, what intrigues you about this profession that you just have this ability to like just change your thoughts? Like if you're sad, you just go, "Oh, I'm not. I don't want to be sad anymore." Well, you're a miracle. So, and I don't even forget it. I don't even think she's that way. I just think it's like this incredible non-empathetic way to be, which is like the worst thing ever for a therapist. I'm still pissed at this therapist from when I was in high school for saying that. It threw me for a loop.
I'm getting that. No.
Maybe we're working out stuff right here.
This is my therapy every day. I don't have to go to therapy. This is it.
This is the only time I talk to people.
6 a.m. to 6:20.
Isn't that right, Zoe? My daughter's here. She's, yeah.
More of an eye roll. Yeah.
She's doing it for your benefit. She's enthralled. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Adam will teach her the board. Don't worry. That will start right after breakfast.
You just need to get out a little bit more. I talked to a guy named Jim at Topgolf yesterday. Had a little, yeah, just a mild back and forth, just a pleasant hello and stuff. You know, it's the interaction. It's the human condition, Fred. We need to get out and meet people. I went out to dinner last night, talked with my largely useless, more useful by the day neighbor, Chris. He and I sat across from each other, as you do when couples go out. You sit next to your, spouse or whatever, but then you sit across from the person you really want to talk to.
Sure.
We probably exchanged, I would say over the course of that 90 minutes, probably 40 to 50 words between the two of us.
Wow.
That's
a ton. And
that's therapy right there.
Your conversation with Jim, he was hitting the bay next to you, and you just say, "So what are you hitting? What are you hitting with there?" And that's how the conversation started? Or did you run across him on your way to the bathroom?
No,
how did this happen?
I believe we had a brief
dumps.
conversation about Angry Birds and how that was the best game to play at Topgolf.
Oh, you guys are just kids.
Well, he was there with a kid. I'm assuming his daughter, and I was there with my son. So,
Unless it's some weird Lolita situation, Epstein situation.
I don't think that was the case.
Well,
didn't get that vibe.
Well, you don't even believe your own analysis, so what do you know?
I believe it. I just choose to ignore it. I put it in the box.
That's a
and I
big
put that box
difference.
on the shelf.
You know how you mentioned the thing about how the couples at dinner, you
Yeah.
want to hear something that you can throw out at the next salon you're at? Next meeting of the minds?
The cabaret, yes.
Well, listen, I'm about to hit you with it. You know, at dinner parties in the United States, they keep the couples separated at the table to elicit conversation. In Europe, they don't even put the couples at the same table.
Get out of here. Get out of here. What kind of dinner parties have multiple tables? It's not really a dinner party anymore. That's
like
a party.
it's like I would say like a soiree where they're serving dinner, like a where there's like a, I don't know, the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
If you
don't get me started with the. By the way, two-sided, where they put your table placements, like where it has your name, because that way when you're walking around the table, you don't have to go around both sides. These are all things you just put in your back pocket.
How far does this go, Fred? I myself, and you'll have to instruct me. I've only been on the continent a few times, and you as a European veteran, you tell me, were I to go to a wedding in Europe, would I be? Would I be seated at the same table as my spouse?
A class system in effect here. What?
Italy.
Class system in effect here, though. You're in Italy. I take it the people are not from Italy. That it's a coastal town where they're getting married.
No, it is a European wedding.
Ooh, you're at a wedding in Italy?
Yeesh. How'd you get invited?
I thought that maybe if it's an expat going to Italy just to enjoy the coast. In Italy, to be honest with you, you and your wife would be at separate tables at the wedding.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
And the idea is that you will have sex with other people's partners.
Okay.
No, but the idea is that, it makes sense, is that you separate the couples, and then you know what the delicious part of it is. It's not only to spur.
You didn't say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's delish. It's not only is it, for the what you would think is that it spawns different conversation. It's for the gossip after.
Oh,
hey,
that is tasty.
Look at that.
Maybe I'll just do a break today where I just inform you of dinner party etiquette.
Yeah, but European, if you don't mind. And we can do other cultures, maybe tomorrow, next week.
Yeah, because I listened to the ex-editor of Vanity Fair's biography, which was beautiful.
Oh,
so interesting.
Oh yeah.
And I learned about the double-sided place cards because you can walk both sides of the table and see where you're supposed to sit. And I learned about the art of positioning guests
Really
at a gala.
mixing things up.
Yeah,
I like that.
So if I ever go to a gala, I'll be sitting there. I'll know how good a gala I'm at based on these. They'll have to check off some boxes. Let's just put it that way.
Good for you. Make some friends.
Yeah, yeah. I've been playing bingo at the senior center, but I still haven't broken the ice with anyone. I'm a little too competitive. I'm getting in there and I'm really throwing that card around. I'm a little aggressively bingoing it.
Bring your own marker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Adam there a couple times, but we act like we don't know each other because he's just there for the food. All right, we'll be back, and a lot went on with your Boston Red Sox. Preemptive move by them, and also a loss yesterday. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but so much for your good feelings on the Red Sox. They turned around and lost the game at home. Oof. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. I have my J.J. McCarthy card. Is the $5,000 starting bid is yet to be met, but we have 14 hours and 23 minutes, so around 8 o'clock tonight, there's 61 watchers, 563 people have viewed it.
Okay.
So we are, savvy auction people not bidding yet.
Didn't you say yourself no one really gets involved into the last minute?
Yes, but I've tempered my expectations about how high it will go. We are certainly, I think, going to be south of 10 grand. That's for sure.
So the starting bid, which you said has not been met, is $5,000. Are you comfortable talking about if there is and what it would be when it comes to the reserve on this item?
Well, it's $5 grand.
That's the reserve. If someone bids $5 grand, they own it.
Yes,
and no one else bids.
Right. If you bid, I'm comfortable getting rid of the card for $5,000.
Okay.
I make a $4,800 profit before fees and taxes, but I'm comfortable with that. I'm looking to flip it before the season. I don't really want to. I don't screw around with it.
I don't think I've ever done an auction on eBay. I've sold things, so I don't know if you can have a starting bid and have a reserve that is higher than that starting bid.
No, I don't think you can.
Okay.
But you can have a reserve for offers. So, like, if a lot of people put things up for auction, but they'll take offers. Like, so they'll put something up for like a ridiculous amount of money because a graded 9 of this card is someone's attempting to sell it for $20,000.
Oh.
So, I mean, this is a raw card, but I would imagine it would at least be a 9. I'd imagine it's hard to get a 10. I would imagine it's a 9. Centering's, you can look for yourself, Fred T. Sales. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you could really be popping off here with about a 10 grand profit off this thing.
Do you have a loop? When you really look at the stuff?
Yeah, it's called my phone. I got an app called Loop, and it's called Monocle.
It's not the same thing.
Oh, it is.
It's not.
It's a digitized
and then
image.
Okay, yeah, why don't you expose that card to more radiation from more electronics while you're trying to sell it?
I put it in a radiation-free sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're doing that.
Yeah.
Something.
I didn't have that. I didn't raw dog that thing. I mean, that I took it out. I had my son put it right. He went, ooh, and put it right into a sleeve and then into another sleeve. It's been.
Your son did with Cheeto fingers and everything else?
No, he's meticulous with the cards. He was the one who recognized that it was like a really good card. No, well, I mean, if you ate it, you might get sick. But I have on there specific instructions not to eat the card because I don't know if I've washed my hands after I wiped.
After a sloppy mud pie.
Yeah.
All right, Red Sox and Roman Anthony have a deal. 8 years, $130 million contract extension. There's a $30 million team option, so the Red Sox could keep him under control through the 2034 season. So this deal will run through his, I don't think this is any accident, through his age 29 season. Right before that 30-year-old cutoff, the 30 season, if the option is exercised.
Correct.
So escalators could raise the total figure up to $230 million based on awards, all-star selections, things like that.
Yeah, they are. Maybe I'm hoping that maybe they think that there's definitely going to be a salary cap. And that they want to get these guys under the cap.
Cost certainty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about all the cheap contracts. I mean, Crochet is 6 years and $170 million. That's a bargain for that guy. Rafaela, 8 years, 50. Bayo, 6 for 55. And Campbell, when he eventually comes back, 8 years.
If he eventually comes back.
If you assume he will. But 8 years and $60 million.
They'll try.
Yeah.
Well, that's the inherent danger of doing this, obviously. Yeah. If it all works out and they become even everyday major leaguers, then that's great, and you got yourself a great deal. And there's cost certainty for them. The players have that guaranteed money. Then you can start making your wealth grow and all these things. All the benefits are obvious for both parties. That is if they pan out.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine Roman Anthony would. Kristen Campbell, I'm not as convinced about as he is in AAA right now.
Yeah, they have him playing first base at AAA at the moment. So
and does his bat lead you to believe he's a corner infielder?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No.
So this is a bit of a that's the gamble.
No, he's not a power hitter by any stretch. He's not a guy who's going to ever hit 25 home runs in a season. No.
And then also, if you think about it in the short term, like you're paying a guy to play in AAA, you're paying. I mean, not this year. I imagine it. I don't know when the deal starts, but you're just, if you send him down again next year or something, like you're back to paying a guy a tremendous amount of money to be playing to the option.
It's not the first time the Red Sox have made that mistake. So I mean, they've signed guys in the past to 5-6 year deals and didn't play one major league game, or they played very few major league games.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's happened before. But if it all works out and there is a salary cap, you got about 5 or 6 guys there on very affordable deals. Now, that requires you to go out and spend money on other free agents, something that the Red Sox have not been exactly eager to do. But at the same time, they set themselves up for success in a possible salary cap era.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. I would hope, if I'm a Red Sox fan, that this is an anticipation for a salary cap and that they're being shrewd, because I guess if they're willing to spend money, it doesn't matter either way. Like, it does. That's fine. If Roman Anthony and Kristen Campbell never pan out, it does. What does it matter to the fan base? Because they, in terms of the money, because they'll just spend money anyway. But that's probably not the case.
I have a feeling this is a Jacobs situation. I remember Jeremy Jacobs being at the forefront of the NHL needing a salary cap. He was one of the guys who was driving it in that direction. He got what he wanted and spent every dollar up until that cap. I have a feeling, and reports are the Red Sox are among the clubs that are driving for a cap in this league. Yankees are also part of that charge, by the way.
And that's always what I've always maintained why that's going to happen.
Yeah,
is because the Yankees want it.
You have large market teams that are pushing this, and it seems to me like this is what's going to happen. You get a cap eventually somehow involved, and the Red Sox will spend every dollar up until that amount.
By the way, we've never talked on the air about how Bryce Harper accosted Manfred in the locker room at the Phillies. What a shrewd negotiator that Harper is. Yeah. You really know someone's on the ball with their economics when they flip out when presented with a business problem. That's because
get out of here.
I've dealt with people like that in the past, and it's very interesting because they're behaving like a movie. Like they're such idiots. They watch Boiler Room or something and think that that's like how people behave.
Yeah, that's how you negotiate.
Yeah, like exactly. Like that's how you negotiate. Like
right.
Harper thought he was going to be this like Woody Guthrie type, like standing up for the working man, but he's a simpleton. He's like just a dummy that just what a shrewd negotiator. Just screaming and yelling at the commissioner. Boy, what good you did. Like Manfred's going to put his head down and go, "Wow. These guys really don't want a salary cap."
Right.
Well done, Harper. Wow. Like, you're a real man of the people.
You scared me to the point where now I don't want to implement one.
No, I
Good
understand. I understand. And by the way, do you know how top heavy Major League Baseball is with salaries? So if I'm like, he might think he's like this hero to the working class, but if I'm in that locker room and I'm anyone but like a handful of guys on that team, I'm like, all right there, moneybags. Like, this thing ain't the worst thing in the world for me. And I've heard that people like around baseball kind of letting that out there like that. Boris runs that union. Essentially, Boris is that union. And Boris is the guy that's in all these major guys who make a lot of money a year. But there's a whole working class in that league that this salary cap would help out. So, yeah, because you'd definitely have to include a floor. So, teams like the Pirates would have to spend money, and that means that they would have to fill out rosters, which means guys would make more money. That's what you would hope for. That's the way you sell it to a union. So there's a lot of guys in Major League Baseball that are not Bryce Harper that this would do some good for.
Oh yeah. I mean, Harper's making what, $28 million a year for the next decade? I mean, he's dealing from a position of strength. It's not fair for him to get upset. There's nothing on the line for him.
Yeah, and he's also an idiot. He's always been an idiot with his dad taking him out of high school and putting him in that community college in Las Vegas when he was like 17. Like everything he's just an idiot.
The real danger if you're trying to implement a salary cap is, are there going to be tiered our salary is going to be tiered based on service time. I was reading last night that this is one of the things the owners could want. And so bring it back to Roman Anthony. Now's the time to sign this contract because if you have a salary cap and you're only allowed to make so much between years 2 and 5 in the majors, I mean, you get screwed if you're a player like Roman Anthony.
So it's like the NFL.
Yeah,
it's like it's
exactly
a tiered system.
right.
Yeah,
service time. It's service time equals salary. That's gone now. I mean that's gone for Roman Anthony. He's going to make a lot of money. So
yeah, and from the perspective of Roman Anthony,
this is a very good contract for him.
Well, yeah, because
especially with the uncertainty,
and it
coming
makes
up.
you think that the uncertainty probably played a role in him.
Yes,
wanting to get this done,
Good
and
for
Kristen
him.
Campbell wanting to get him done this quickly.
Good for him.
Yeah, and Anthony said it all happened fast, and this is what he wanted anyway.
This process was quick. They sent the offer over, and for me as a player and as a person, and with my family and agency, this is a place that I want to be. There was no doubt about it. I came up through this org with so many of these people in this room, and people who aren't in this room who helped me get here. When the offer came through, it was something that I wanted to move quick on, and there was no doubt that this is where I wanted to play baseball for a long time.
I mean, definitely they raised the kid. I mean, he's been with that organization forever. I could see why you would have that blinding loyalty to a place that you've been screwing around with for a couple of years.
He was living on the street, Fred. He was feral.
What is he, 2 years out of high school or something?
like that, yeah.
But I mean,
he's 20, 21.
Yeah, blind loyalty to the organization.
Yeah.
That's what they get him. They indoctrinate him pretty quick. It's like a Clockwork Orange. He's got, toothpicks in his eyelids. They're making him watch Ted Williams at bats.
Yeah. He feels grateful. They took him as Romy the Wolf Boy, eating out of dumpsters, and they cleaned him up. And they put a bat in his hand and said, "Here, take this, and now take $130 million."
They had a High Plains drifter of a scout on a motorcycle going town to town in Nebraska, and they just found this kid throwing a ball through tires, and they said, "Hey, kid, come over here, you hayseed." And they go, "Want to make the show?"
There's a sports writer on a train. He said, "Hey, why don't you step off this train? I get 3 pitched balls. I got $1,000 on you, kid. I'm going to call you the Whammer." We'll get into what happened in the actual game last night here in a moment.
I know your dad's all brain dead from the shine, the moonshine.
You could have seen this one coming a mile away, much like you could see coming a mile away. You take somebody who doesn't know anything about the Boston Red Sox, doesn't know one player anymore, right? Mm-hmm. Say, okay, someone down on that field is named Dusty May. Which one is called Dusty?
I'll take
that one.
I'll take the guy
Correct.
with the mullet for the win.
The red mullet. Yes, that's Dusty. He was your starting pitcher last night. What happened? We'll tell you
He don't like Fenway. That I can tell you.
No.
Dusty May don't like Fenway. That's 2 in a row. One for the Dodgers and one for the local 9.
At least when he pitched for the Dodgers, he lasted longer.
He did. Yeah. I mean, I was at that game.
Yeah.
I talked to him. I was like, you know what? Push for a trade here.
That's the guy I want on my team.
Yeah,
the guy who got bounced around over 5 innings.
In fact, half your starts need to be in this park.
Please bring that guy to me.
And by the way, Hicks is paying off huge dividends too.
Yeah,
I don't think that ball's landed yet.
What an inning.
So much in return for Devers. It's really something.
Jeez.
But it's addition by subtraction. Why didn't they just I don't know why they didn't have them keep money. Why they didn't keep money, and they could have gotten something in return for him, but they got worse. Not only from Devers, but by adding Hicks, they're worse. Hicks, they're better. You want to talk about addition by subtraction? Get Hicks off the team.
Subtraction by addition.
Just go with one fewer player than you're allowed.
Yeah.
You'd be better.
I tried to tell you, and everyone fought me. No, I'm just kidding. But I did tell you, this Hicks is no good. But we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox are beaten by Kansas City last night, 7-3 at Fenway Park, ending a 7-game winning streak. Romy Gonzalez, a 2-run double early for the Red Sox. Dustin May allowed 3 runs and 6 hits. Didn't make it out of the 4th inning in his Red Sox debut. Red Sox have tonight off. They visit San Diego tomorrow evening. Another Sox news, they signed Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million contract extension. There is an extra $100 million possible in escalators. And the Patriots took part in a joint practice with the Washington Commanders yesterday morning in Foxborough. Two teams will play each other in an exhibition game tomorrow night at Gillette Stadium. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the McGovern Automotive Group. McGovern and 98.5 The Sports Hub are giving away a brand new Ford F-150. For more info on how to enter, follow 98.5 The Sports Hub and McGovern Auto Group on Instagram. Complete rules and details at 98.5thesportshub.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher.
Swinging a high fly ball back to left field, back to the wall. That's going to score a couple of runs. Story is in. Duran is in. Remy strikes, and it's 2-0 Sox, just like that.
No problems.
Right? Look good. Yeah.
When me and my wife went over to Mexico, we had the water and got a couple of runs.
Come on. All right, so
I'm practicing.
A couple of hiccups here and there. Bregman, did they rule that an error?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so a little hiccup over there. Feeling what wasn't an easy play, but okay, you're starting to think that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't going to be their night. And oh boy, with Dustin May on the mound, yeah, that ended up being the case.
And Isbell bloops it into center field, and really not hit hard enough for the center fielder Duran to charge soon enough and show off his strong arm. And so the bloop hit works for the Royals as Isbell drives in two.
He's got a cannon.
Yeah.
Jared Duran. This is a guy who hasn't seen a lick of Red Sox baseball. Duran, that's what he's known for. He's got a rocket attached to that shoulder of his. Yep.
Blooper goes for 2 runs there. Any other offense from Kansas City last night? Oh, yeah.
In the air, left field, and deep. And over the wall! Jonathan India batting 7th tonight. It's a 3-run home run in the 7th inning.
That was off Hicks.
That was all. Yeah. By the way, the May only lasted 3 2/3.
Very, Fred, you'll appreciate this. Dustin May, very dice K last night. A lot of pitches, a lot of long innings. Not a lot of runs off of him. You look at it and you're like, oh, he gave up 3 runs in 3 2/3. It seemed a lot worse than that because by the time we got to the 4th inning, it was like 9:30.
Yeah, he threw 91 pitches in 3 2/3. That's not an efficient game.
Very dice K last night by Dustin May.
Chris Murphy had a scoreless 2 1/3, and then Hicks, as you mentioned, allowing 3 runs in his 1 inning of work, and then Campbell came in and. Just for good measure, gave up another run.
They lost 7-3, but even in losing, the Red Sox continue to make the same mistakes they were making while they were winning. I don't know if you guys saw it. They should have lost about 12-3. They danced out of trouble a lot in this game with May and other relievers on the mound. There was runners on first and second. Guy hits a bomb to deep center field. Jaron Duran runs it down, makes a nice play, throws the ball back to Cedar Rafael, who's playing second base. The runners thought there's no way in hell Duran's going to catch the ball. So India, the runner on first base, has to tag second, go back to first. Rafael sees that, throws the ball, guns the ball to first base. And India would have been out by about 20 or 25 feet, except there was no one covering first base. So the throw for Rafael rockets to the wall and bounces away, and the runners go to second and third. The first baseman, who should have been covering first base, was on the pitcher's mound, backing up the second baseman.
Not ideal.
No, not ideal, but these are the kind of fielding mistakes the Red Sox make about 6 times a week. And this is something I can't believe they are where they are, making all of these fundamental errors. But, they are in a playoff position. But for them.
Kind of like you said, John, it should have been much worse. And there are times, even in a loss like that, where you saw, all right, that the offense is better than what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I guess give him credit for that, and give him credit for what was a 7-game win streak when I don't know anybody who predicted that. I think people were there's a lot of wishful thinking, and that they were going to be somehow better, addition by subtraction, after the Devers trade. So they'll have tonight off, and then they hit the road. They'll be out in San Diego, and then a visit to Houston.
Old buddy
on
Nick
a
Pivetta.
6-game road trip.
Nick Pivetta tomorrow night against the Red Sox.
Yeah, against Walker Buehler tomorrow night. All right.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of good memories of that guy.
We'll all be staying
Nicky
up for that
Pets.
one, 9:40 first pitch.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'll be out partying.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Friday night?
Well, they don't put those games on in the clubs where you go.
No, but you said
don't even
that
have
you
TVs
said
in
be
those
up.
clubs.
I'll be up and out.
Yeah.
I'll be out cutting a rug. Don't worry about me Friday night.
Joint practice between the Patriots and the Commanders yesterday, and yes, there was a fight. There was a scrum on the field in which head coach Mike Vrabel immediately got on the pile, came away with a bloody cheek, and Pop Douglas really likes that.
Yeah, I said, Coach, what's wrong with you, man? He said, hey, you should see the other guy. So, I laughed at that coach, man. He'll do anything for us, and that's love right there.
No, you're really patronizing. That made you laugh? Okay. I'd hate to see what happens when you see the Three Stooges.
You should have seen the other guy. Do you not get the joke?
No, I understand it. It's very base.
Let me explain. Mike Vrabel is bloodied on the cheek, Fred. And he says, Coach, what happened? Obviously, Pop Douglas did not see the fight that everybody was watching. So, in response, Vrabel says, you should have seen the other guy. He's much worse than this. Now do you get it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, it was my own ignorance. I apologize.
Hunter Henry involved in that?
Yeah, man, he's right there with us, man. I think that player comes out in him a little bit too. But you got to love a coach that loves to compete, has those competitive juices just like us.
Yeah, I'm sure that they all weren't making fun of him at all amongst each other when it was over. Like try-hard coach acting tough.
You're a psycho, man. What are you doing?
He's not a psycho. He's very premeditated, I would imagine. I think it's the antithesis of being a psycho. I think it was something that he's like, look at me, tough guy.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I come away with. Thank you.
I just can't imagine, like, ex-player or not, you're standing there. Those guys are in full pads. You're standing there watching. There's a scrum, pads, helmets, everything else. I can't think of doing anything other than just standing there and waiting for it to clear out.
Hey, you stop it. Cut that out.
Well, every good coach will jump into a scrum. I mean, you remember Belichick would constantly be fighting.
Right.
Well,
no, he would just be in the corner giving women millions of dollars.
The best coaches will just step out and clothesline a player, Woody Hayes style, and just really get themselves involved in the actual
Woody
play.
Hayes is lucky that he didn't literally get killed. Woody Hayes was the coach of Ohio State for many years, of course, and he became a psychopath at the end, a real psycho at the end of his career.
He may have lost it a little bit.
Yeah, and he clotheslined a kid, and and Woody Hayes was probably about 5'5". He was probably 60, but but it was back when people looked 90 when they were 60. But if the kid would have hit him, I mean, he would have killed Woody Hayes. It was if they would have pushed him, it would have been like when Don Zimmer got pushed.
That's the thing. It was like during a game. The kid had pads on, and he was returning an interception or something, and Hayes jumped off the sideline and tried to take him down with a forearm. Yeah, if the kid, who was probably 19, 20 years old, in tremendous shape, playing in the Big Ten, if he had decided to hit back, you're right. I think he might have killed him.
Yeah, he had a little bit of too much. He was a little too well ingrained at that time. He was not thinking about himself. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's it. Patriots camp leading up to preseason game number 1 tomorrow night, where they will unveil the Tom Brady statue ahead of time. It's going to be out in the plaza next to the Patriots Hall. So it will be put up on the big screens for anyone who can't get close enough. You want to go into the stadium and watch it, they'll be showing it there on the giant monitors there in the stadium tomorrow night.
Okay, well, that's good news.
And we're all going down there for it.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
going down for the statue.
All right.
John, we're all going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Well, I'll be there.
Fred?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be there.
We're
And then
all
I'm
going.
going to go dancing, like I told you. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy.
It's a club option.
Knowing what I know now and with 2 months of experience under my belt and living in Boston and being in this city and the way that these fans are so connected to us as a team and being with my teammates and this staff and the front office down to everyone that goes, shows up here every day. It's a special place, and it was a pretty simple decision for me. I wanted to be here.
The deal also includes escalators that could take the deal as high as $230 million. The Patriots, by all accounts, did just fine against the Washington Commanders in a joint practice between the two teams in Foxborough yesterday morning. Stephon Diggs was late to the field but did eventually participate. Both Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis did not. The two teams will meet inside Gillette Stadium for an exhibition game tomorrow night. And in Celtics news, they have signed second-round draft pick Max Shulga to a two-way contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Colossal Lobster Rolls at the 99. Choose hot, buttered, or traditional, both built to the hilt with chunks of North Atlantic lobster, served with fries and coleslaw. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Come on, let's face it. Your summer barbecue, it's just training camp for tailgate season. And Patriots training camp is where the Sports Hub will be as the team gets ready for a new season with a new coach, Mike Vrabel. Keep it on the Sports Hub, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Patriots. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Half Toucher.
Dressed like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an intern.
That's right. So and that's
John was already divorced.
That's kind of the two ends of the spectrum when you're talking about like when a human brain is soaking up musical information. When scientists look at that and they study that, they say that those formative years, those preteen and early teen years, those songs that you hear there are the ones that stick with you the most. So I've pulled a few songs from really the top part of this top rock tracks list from Billboard summer August of 85, and I'm gonna just give you like a short clip, and you're gonna have to tell me what the song is.
All right, John, had you met your first wife by 1985?
I had not. No,
No, but he was a few false starts, though. You know, a few people that he thought were the one, but then the cruel twist of romantic fate reaped its ugly head. Go ahead.
All right, Hardy, this first one is for you, and you're gonna get it right away.
Oh, that's REM Can't Get There From Here.
That's absolutely right. Well done. But
it's all right.
Yeah. Okay, Fred, this one, I don't know that you're going to be able, let me put it to you this way. If you're able to get this one like straight away, I'll be very impressed. So let me give you a little, the intro to this one.
Yes. Yeah, Lay It Down by Rat.
Wow, that's really impressive because this is one that I'm not aware of. And I was
Warren
surprised
T. Martini, you don't know about his riffs?
Eddie Trunk could tell me all about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I listen to Eddie Trunk. He's got his theories on what Stephen Pearcy's up to now again. The Rat guys, Bobby Blotzer's got his own version touring around.
Eddie Trunk was tweeting about 2 o'clock this morning our time about the fantastic show he saw last night in Vegas with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, he saw Lenny Kravitz. Who was with him?
Mike Portnoy.
Mike Portnoy.
That's right.
Yeah, from Dream Theater.
Dream Theater, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, he had Mike Portnoy on the show yesterday. Don't worry about it. It was so boring, even I had to turn it off.
Oh, boy.
I think he said he's got Lars coming up.
I will tell you this, though. Like, Rat, as, like, you can make fun of him, but out of all those bands, like, Rat have, like, songs that when they're on are not bad. Like, Lay It Down's not a bad song. It's I don't even think it's that corny. I mean, the lyrics are corny, but, like, I think, what you just played is not a bad song.
No. They're one of those bands from that era that, again, I wasn't too familiar with because that really wasn't the style of music I was into back then. But like in revisiting them, I'm on the same page as you. Like, they're not a bad band.
Yeah,
some of the bands from that era were very bad.
Yeah, you were just in free form jazz at
That's
that
right.
point. Yes.
Big band music was my love
right.
back in those days.
You and Mike behind the mic, young Mike behind the mic, Callahan.
No, that's too early for him. He if he's going 40s, he's going vocal. He's going Diener, and he's going.
Well, no.
Okay, but
if you have sisters in your name,
yes, he loves the Andrews sisters. You kidding me?
But just and this isn't kind, but it does bear mentioning, right?
No.
If you were into big band music in 1985, how silly would that be? It is the equivalent of being into 80s music now.
That is true.
No, it was very, and it was not that. It was probably like late 80s, early 90s when I started playing in the jazz band. When I got
It'd be
into
like,
that. But I was also listening to grunge and alternative and early hip hop.
that's
and
fine,
stuff.
but I'm just saying, just for the amount of time, if you were listening to Glenn Miller in 1985, and like how lame is that? That would be like you listening to the Police Synchronicity right now.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. And to think that, like, when we were in 1985, like, My Three Sons was still in syndication.
Yeah.
Like, shows from the 50s.
All those 50s shows, those black and white shows, you could still watch on TV anytime.
My Three Sons in 1985 is like Seinfeld now.
Right.
In like the end of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it
right,
might
because
be
that's a
worse
30-year
than
gap.
that.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, I believe, is like 89 to 98. And I think I'm right. Or it's 89 to 97. And I think it's 89 to 98. And and like you figure My Three Sons was on in 55. Yeah. Or it's at least I Love Lucy.
No. 1960, My Three Sons started.
Oh.
Okay, so
it's even worse.
Oh, so it's even worse.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yikes. You want another one?
Not now.
No.
Too depressed.
This stuff is kind of getting to me because like 10 years from now, then it's no joke. Then you're in Wallach territory. But AI is going to get him anyway. Go ahead.
This is the number 9 song from August of 1985 in the top rock Billboard tracks.
Okay, that's Smoking in the Boys' Room by Motley Crue.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. Cover version.
With the guy from The Hills Has Eyes in the...
Yes. He was in a lot of music videos and movies back in the 80s.
Todd Anderson at my birthday party gave me Theater of Pain that year, and I opened it up on cassette and I threw it across Chuck E. Cheese because it was garbage. Motley Crue, not a good band.
That tracks. No.
Rad are a much better band than Motley Crue.
I agree with that take.
I just saw a video of Motley Crue playing, and a guy got on stage, and Nikki Sixx was so punk rock that he got so scared he took his bass off and got into a defensive posture because, a guy got on stage, which is just insane. Yeah. And the band was still playing, and background vocals and bass were all still playing, and he had the bass in his hands.
Whoops.
Like a weapon.
Whoops.
Well, no, I mean, his bass is now being reported isn't even plugged in.
Yeah.
Which, playing bass lines for Motley Crue, how labor intensive is that?
Yeah, I think a lot of us could probably learn how to do that on that early Motley Crue stuff.
Oh, I think that you could give any of us a week, and we could learn like half a Motley Crue album for sure. Even if you've never played bass before.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I could use a pick, but I could use my fingers. I can tell you that.
You use thumb, you a little slap there, All
right, shut up. You took
well, if I shut up, I can't do the bit.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Stick to the bit then.
Okay.
You leave the freelancing to me.
Okay, this is not the right song. I don't know what this song is. So I guess I sent the wrong clip for that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Adam.
All right,
Flavor.
It's number 6 in
that was a hit
of 85.
That's
yes,
no surprise.
This was perhaps it was funny. This is not the number 1 song. It's the number 3 song. But let me actually take a look. This is number 1 at the end of July, dropped down to number 3 at the beginning of August. This was one of the biggest hits. It's a good guess, but no. One of the biggest hits, one of the biggest films of the summer of 85.
I got it.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. You know it, Wallach?
Yes.
What is it? Just the whole thing, and Huey Lewis says, yeah, it's pretty much spot on.
What does he care? He's just got his hog slapping against his knee.
Yeah, I do think so. I do think Sports was our best album. We really did come into our own there. Yeah, he's right.
All right, another number 2 song, another movie soundtrack song.
I know this too.
What is it?
This is, of course, from the Brat Pack movie.
Yeah.
It is St. Elmo's Fire is the movie.
You know the artist?
No, I never remember this guy's name.
John Cicada.
That's a good guess.
No, we talked about him because he changed this to Tim Tebow's Fire.
Yeah, this is St. Elmo's Fire, but the video for this is awesome. You got to watch, even if you're a kid, watch this video because it's worth it. The cast of St. Elmo's Fire is just sitting in chairs randomly around like a space, and the singer is lip syncing and walking up to them individually. Now they acknowledge him being there,
Right.
But they don't have any lines. He's just like walking around a room where they're like stationed.
Ask Scott Zolak. Fill him with truth serum. Put him on a lie detector. Why did you attend University of Maryland? This movie. He saw this movie.
I thought they went to Georgetown.
They went to Georgetown, but it was filmed at University of Maryland. He found that out. He said, I want to go there. I want to wear a Batman sleeveless T-shirt and play the sax in a bar. That's what I want. That's why he went to, he could have gone to a number of different schools. He went to Maryland because of this movie.
Do you think in the 80s that if you were in a fraternity house, like someone would have gone on the roof with a saxophone inspired by St. Elmo's Fire? Because that would have been the mental exercises I have to go through not to get so overly depressed. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned.
Hardy, you have something to add for the game we just played.
Can't Get There from Here from REM. Nowhere near a hit song. It was the first single from Fables of the Reconstruction, peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Bubbling Under Hot 100 Singles, which is the equivalent of 110 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Peaked at 91 on the Canadian Singles chart. How's that a hit song?
Again, we're talking about different charts and lists here. I think I was pretty firm in the fact that this was the hot rock tracks. That was the one that we're not looking at the Billboard Top 100. Hot rock tracks was the one, which compiles airplay from, at the time, what were called AOR radio stations across the country. So any radio station that had a rock format.
There's no way like the rock station in any of the rock stations where I grew up were playing that song. There's no way.
Well, they were playing it somewhere because it made it onto the chart. So
I had never heard that song before.
Like, was BCN playing that?
Yes, BCN and FNX would have been playing REM back then.
All right. Well, let's not forget the most important part. I got it in like a second.
Yes,
and a half.
Which as soon as I saw it on there, I'm like, well, I got to throw this in.
But it's his second favorite band, so I would. I mean, if it's your favorite band, you would know every song.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of taste.
Yeah.
Now, if you played Vivaldi and he could give you the concerto, then that would be impressive. But that would just show he had a fine ear. But just knowing something you've heard a million times, that's no feat.
Yeah, it is.
Well, something you haven't seen a million times, is
listen to this, John.
Is Roman Anthony.
Wow.
Roman Anthony.
That was good.
The Red Sox have decided, John, to extend him. Have they not?
Smart business move for both sides. I mean, the Red Sox lock up a key piece of their core long term, but it's also a very smart move for Roman Anthony. And we've talked at length about how there's more than likely going to be a work stoppage after next season, and the owners are going to try and institute a cap, and you have no idea what kind of rules they're going to implement. It could be a tiered system based on service time, which would kind of lessen the payment for the younger players. You have no idea. So Roman Anthony has cost certainty, which is something I think a lot of players are going to wish they had in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's a smart move for both sides. Roman Anthony's going to be a great player. At least that's what it looks like. Who knows what happens 3 years from now, but all indications are he's going to be a great player for you. And if you can get away with paying him below market value for that length of time, it's fantastic.
But let me ask you this. Are Meyer, Campbell, and Anthony all going to be great players?
No. One of them, the odds are overwhelming that at least one of them is not going to be a good player.
Like not even a regular major league
yes,
player?
That is what the odds say.
Because you have to remember, if you go around to different teams, now Roman Anthony, I have every faith, will be a everyday major league player. But if you go around and look at like guys in the past, if you're speculating on talent, like Spencer Torkelson or Dylan Carlson, you saw him last night, Randall Grichuk or whatever the hell his name is. Grichuk. Like these guys were all supposed to be not Roman Anthony stars, but I mean Torkelson was.
He was the number one overall pick.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys are supposed to be, and now Torkelson's an everyday player. But I mean,
not a number one overall.
Jordan
pick,
Walker. I mean, like there's like a bunch of guys that are.
A lot of them have been dropped at the side of the road. Yes,
right. So there is
true.
an inherent when you do like because they gave Campbell and Anthony these contracts. Now it shouldn't matter that he was a fan because the idea would be, what does it matter to you unless there's a salary cap. And then if there's a salary cap, and I don't know how that works with if you option guys and things like that. I don't know how that all works.
Rules to be determined, yes.
Yes, I don't know how all that works, and if you're still on the hook in terms of the cap, if a guy's not on the major league team, and I don't know how all that works, and how much service time you're going to need before they can send you down and all this stuff.
That's the thing. I mean, with all of that uncertainty swirling around, you want to lock down as many players as you can to cheap contracts.
Yeah. To a degree, yeah. I would have given Anthony this contract. I don't understand why that would be overly analyzed in a negative way. Like, I mean, you took the guy, you've invested in him. He's proving himself. He's young. He's been able to handle major league pitching. Like, I understand why you would do that. It's just, I don't think Campbell, Meyer, and Anthony are all going to be healthy, productive major leaguers.
The odds are overwhelmingly against it. They talked to Meyer yesterday, and Meyer's on the injured list. He's got a bad wrist. He said they haven't even had discussions with him yet about a contract.
That's got to make you feel about 1 inch tall.
Well, I mean, Campbell's got 8-60, and Roman Anthony's got 8-130, and you've got nothing. I mean, look, they have control over him for another 5 years.
Well, that's the thing
time,
that's also, you have control over him for 5 years. So I don't understand this rush. I understand if you're Anthony why you take the deal, and I certainly understand if you're Campbell why you take the deal, because Campbell would have screwed around and waited even till now. They're not offering him that deal now.
No.
So I mean,
No.
Campbell was smart.
Yes.
He got to take his foot off the gas a little bit, give himself a break.
At the beginning of the season, he was going to be your everyday second baseman.
I'm aware of why they gave him the deal, but that's the danger is that when these guys haven't proven themselves over, any length of time, obviously that's the danger. But that's also why you take the under your perceived value contract
Now-
is because it's that guarantee.
Okay, so very quickly on Campbell, Breslow said that he was asked if they had learned anything from that.
I think we try to learn from every decision that we make, and that includes Christians. We still are incredibly confident in the contribution that he's going to make.
Are you saying Jewish people don't? That's offensive.
Organization over the next 9 or 10 years, and I think we can start to see him getting back into the form that we recognize and have come to appreciate.
Yeah, right.
Yes, of course. There's no doubt about it.
Give the Red Sox credit, though. The 3 long-term contracts they signed before Campbell have worked out. Bayo's been really good this year. Ceddanne Rafaela, very good defensive player, contributor, bottom half of the order. And Crochet, 6 years on $170 million. That's outrageously good for how good a pitcher he is.
Right.
So, I mean, they've hit more than they've missed. And you figure this Roman Anthony contract is going to be a hit. So they're 4 for 5. That's not bad, all things
As long as they don't use these contracts if these guys don't pan out as an excuse, which they haven't done. So, I mean, signing a kid like Anthony to a deal, I don't know why you would crap on it. The only reason you would crap on it is if 4 years from now, 3 years from now, they point at these deals and these guys aren't productive major leaguers and they go, well, our payroll is at such and such an amount. And, and you go, yeah, but you extended all these kids and they didn't end up panning out. So that's kind of on you. What about the major league product? Those are your mistakes. And now you're paying for them. That's being a fatalist and going like none of this stuff's going to work out. I mean, if I was a general manager of the Red Sox, I'd certainly I'd get into talks with Anthony at this point, and I would extend them, and I would use the salary cap as leverage, which I'm sure they did, and that's why you get the kid to take that contract. Now, Campbell, I don't know why they were in such a rush, but because he was never the prospect that Anthony is. I mean, he's a really good prospect, and it was a really good prospect, but he wasn't Anthony.
Last year, I mean, no one had heard of him at 18 months ago, but last year he zipped through the farm system, and this is what you wind up with.
Which, again, happens. I mean, I could give you, I mean, if you gave me 2 minutes, I could, go through my mental Rolodex of players of teams I've rooted for that have, come through the system and were supposed to be can't miss. I mean, especially pitchers. Pitchers,
right.
and then, never panned out. But that shouldn't be, I don't know why as a Red Sox fan that would bother you unless you create a scenario where in the future this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And that's only if they use it against it. Like they go, we've invested all this money into our young players and they didn't pan out and now we're up against it. Like da-da-da.
It's only bothered me in the past in that one instance in particular when they treated a pitching prospect as so precious that they wouldn't trade anything for him. He was deemed untouchable.
Well, that's the guy who just got to AAA.
And for me, it was Casey Kelly.
I remember that guy.
They're like, no, I think Roy Halladay was available.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't trade Casey Kelly. I remember that.
Can't part with Casey Kelly.
I know.
Are you kidding?
Oh, Jesus, what a major league career that guy had. But,
well, no, what you do is you take your prospects and you exchange them for a guy like Crochet. Or you exchange them at the deadline. I mean, that's what the prospects are. Ideally, you take your farm system and, if you have a top 20 farm system, 20 of those guys aren't playing in the major leagues. It's mathematically impossible. I mean, there's never been a major league team, I would imagine, ever that had their top 20 prospects 4 years later being 20 of their 22-man roster or whatever the hell it is.
No.
Like, so you exchange guys and you. By the way, that first baseman that was traded in the Mats deal, I just read something saying
Blaze Jordan.
Blaze Jordan. Why did the Red Sox move Blaze Jordan of all players? Because Blaze Jordan has been having such success at the minor league level that seemed like a huge overpay. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, who said he had no power.
I don't think he's going to be a great major leaguer. We'll see.
It just seems like a lot to give. Even if there's a chance he plays in the major leagues, it just seems like a lot to give up for a failed lefty starter.
That's the going rate you were talking about at the deadline. That's the going rate for pitching at the deadline. Relievers and starters, you know that.
I don't know if a guy who's a chance to be an everyday positional player in the major leagues is the exchange for a rental mid-relief lefty.
He wasn't, and again, don't quote me on this, but he wasn't a top 10 prospect, I don't think, in the Red Sox farm system.
I'm just telling you what I've read.
Okay.
And people were very surprised.
I'm more interested in what you think.
I don't know anything about Blaze Jordan. You mean you can give me splits, and then I'll be all over it. I mean, I can investigate the splits, but I'd have to see him eye test. That's how I judge kids.
There you go.
It's the eye test. I'll go down to Memphis and tell you how.
Well, drive around down there, and if you see something you like, you pull over.
No, I'll go down to Memphis. I'll see the Memphis Redbirds, and I'll give you my prospectus on them.
Going to a Durham Bulls game on a week from tomorrow night.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want to check out some young talent.
What level is that?
Don't know.
I think that's AAA.
I don't think that's AAA.
Not anymore. It used to be.
I don't think Durham Bulls are AAA.
Okay, I thought that was Tampa's AAA.
I think they might be single A, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
I think they might be one of the single A teams. Durham Bulls are what organization?
I thought they were Tampa's AAA team.
Oh. They are?
AAA.
Huh?
AAA Rays. Don't question Wallach.
We got that one right.
AAA. Oh, the Durham Bulls are the AAA Rays team.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, who's playing in AAA for the Rays that's not on the Major League roster?
No one knows.
Okay.
It's a big mystery.
No, I'm just trying to gaslight my way out of my big mistake. All right, so there you go. I heard people being critical of the Roman Anthony signing. I don't really know why.
No,
I don't know how it negatively affects anything.
It's a really good deal. A really good deal, both sides. I'm impressed.
You're impressed that they maintain their own prospect?
No, I'm impressed that he took the deal. I'm impressed that the Red Sox signed him cheaply. I haven't had a lot of reason to be happy about ownership this season. This is one of those days.
I don't know the answer.
Write it down.
I don't know the answer to this. Breslow was asked if the Devers trade opened up money for this deal.
Oh, they're
what
baiting
do you think he's
him.
going to say?
Oh, he's going to say
Of course.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, of course. Flexibility.
I think these things were largely independent.
Hello.
We felt like what was best for the organization at the time was to trade Rafi, and
now he's saying that it was not a financial. He's backtracking on the financial thing. Okay.
Yesterday, we thought that what was best for the organization is to come to an agreement to keep Roman in a Red Sox uniform for a really long time.
Oh, all right.
One
well,
has
there you
nothing
go.
to do with the other.
No. Well, he said that they would have more financial flexibility based on the trade, but now he's just saying it was his own brilliance for knowing that getting rid of a guy with borderline Hall of Fame numbers is.
You take the best hitter out of any lineup, they improve every time, 10 out of 10.
Well, in the story's been written for this team too. By the way, the season. I mean, the story's already been written, and as has the next 8 years. It's all been set in stone.
That's the thing.
I mean, the move is an unqualified success.
That's the thing. It was an expiring contract. He's got 8 years left on this deal.
No, and you saw what they got back. You could argue that what they got back, May and Hicks, is essentially what they got back. Because they flipped the prospect for May, and Hicks is the major leaguer that they got, is that you could argue that they're worse with those two guys on the roster. Minus the absence of Devers, just those two pitchers being on the roster, they're responsible for at least one loss, directly responsible, which is last night. So, I mean, they got nothing in return for him. If in 2 years they're winning 100 games, they're winning 95 games, and, they're in the World Series hunt every year, and everything is hunky-dory, that's fine. But short of that, you can't convince me that getting rid of your best player for nothing is somehow some incredibly shrewd move that and I've heard it spun by national guys like his contract was believed to be insufferable. So you're saying that if I'm a major market team who just blows through money and you offer me up him, like in 7 years, that's going to be a ridiculous contract. In 6 years, that's going to be a ridiculous contract. It doesn't make any sense to me. I will never believe it. All right. We will be back in just a moment. I had a thorough AI analysis done on me without my knowledge. And then it has led to us wanting to explore this further. We'll explain. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Kansas City beat the Red Sox at Fenway Park last night 7-3, snapping the Red Sox winning streak at 7. Dustin May went 3 2/3 innings and took the loss in his Red Sox debut. Jonathan India, a 3-run homer for the winners. Red Sox off tonight. They're in San Diego to play the Padres tomorrow evening. Before the game, the Red Sox announced they had signed top prospect Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million contract extension. Patriots held a joint practice with the Washington Commanders yesterday morning in Foxborough. The big story, Mike Vrabel injured when participating in a small scrum after a play was over. And finally, in Braintree, Massachusetts, Little Leaguers face Bedford, New Hampshire tonight in the championship of the New England Regional. The winner of this game heads to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Loprestine, Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Rob Nankovich, and Dave Portnoy. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy. This time on Friday, we're giving you a shot at winning a brand new Ford F-150 courtesy of McGovern Automotive Group. Just listen for your Instagram username to be announced. And if Bert doesn't interrupt, when you hear you've got 985 seconds to call us back on the contest line, 617-931-0985 to qualify for the truck. Contest rules and info on how to enter is at 985thesportshub.com. Now, unsolicited and without explanation, a couple days ago, I received a text message from someone I know that had that was simply just said a Chat GPT like analysis of me. Now, let me see if I can find how this whole thing worked. I can tell you how it exactly came out. It was out of nowhere. And
unsolicited, somebody
completely
who knows
unsolicited.
you.
Monday evening, it said POV ChatGPT does a psychic reading. Let's tune into Fred Toucher, blending the practical with the intuitive. Consider this an energy-based profile of his public presence. Now, after I received this, the day later, I received a voice message telling me that the person sent it to me based on our discussions of AI on the show. So I guess it made a little bit of sense. But I will give you just a couple things on mine. This is just a ChatGPT, do you have to pay for ChatGPT, I'm assuming? I don't know if this person paid for...
I think it is. Oh, you don't, Nick?
You got to sign up for it or something?
Well, Nick will never tell. That's a trump
says
card.
You
he
have
has
to sign up, but
okay.
Yeah.
Nick has a trump card over us now. He knows how to work ChatGPT, unlike us fossils.
We only have Sarge GPT.
Fred Toucher, not the real spelling of my name, but the Toucher, comes off across as someone who thrives in verbal combat, not just for the sake of conflict, but because it's how he filters authenticity. There's a sharpness in his tone, a kind of verbal x-ray that pushes past the superficial. He's not afraid to say what others won't, even when it burns a few bridges. My energetic impression is fire with a side of fog. There's an intensity, but also a deep internal haze, like someone who's walked through emotional storms and come out, ... not unscathed, but aware. He may not want you to know how much he feels, but leaks it out anyway, usually through sarcasm or sudden tonal shifts. My mental and emotional landscape, Fred, mine moves fast, too fast at times, which leads to an inner tension. He has the kind of intelligence that gets bored easily and lashes out, not because he's mean-spirited, but because he desperately wants to keep things real. There's likely a running emotional contradiction. He wants connection, but mistrusts vulnerability, craves authenticity, but gets overwhelmed by the weight of it, uses humor to survive, but knows how dark the undercurrent really is. His soul carries a lot of earned cynicism. He's seen the worst in people and in himself, and he's still showing up. That takes grit, even if it comes off brash. Emotional wounds. There's grief here, not necessarily recent, but long-standing, possibly father wound energy or masculine pressure trauma. Something in his past taught him that softness equals risk. Vulnerability may feel like weakness to him, even if he's evolved past that intellectually. A woman sent this to me, by the way. His on-air persona is like armor, but underneath there's someone who wants just one person to really get it. No games, no BS, just get it. Fred would be the kind of soul that resists anything woo-woo, until he has an undeniable spiritual experience.
That's
even if
only
he's
in
had
the
a
moment.
brush with... he's the kind of guy who has whistle tips on his
It's that
muffler.
woo-woo.
You're supposed to be up cooking breakfast or something about that. It's like an alarm clock.
That's right. Even if he's ever had a brush with edge, illness, death, or a close one, or extreme burnout, it's likely cracked something open. If he let himself soften into spirit, he'd become a fierce truth teller with soul. Think Anthony Bourdain, which is really the man who hung himself at 62. Meets Ram Dass, grounded Rob, but with surprising grace. He doesn't need to become spiritual. He already is. He doesn't want to be perceived that way yet. There's more for him just beyond radio. This is my career energy. If he lets himself evolve, he could easily host a podcast, which is good news.
Good for you.
Or a show that blends irreverence with deeper conversation, aging, regret, real talk about addiction, family, or ego. If only there was a podcast about addiction. If he leaned into long-form, emotionally raw interviews, people would flock to it, as opposed to now, where people are staying at an arm's length. But it requires one thing, dropping the shield. Again, this was sent to me by a woman. Closing message. This is the closing message to me, and then I will wrap this up. You don't have to be on fire to be felt. You don't have to break things to prove it's real. Let them see what's behind the noise. That's where the real volume lives. Now, I had
real talk.
Our wonderful intern attempt to do one on herself, but she says it doesn't work because she's not a public figure. So apparently, because I just wanted to see what it said about her, not for her to relay it to me. I instructed her. I just wanted her to do it and just say, did it ring it all true? Because obviously a lot of this seems to be not out of the realm of possibility. I'm open to all of it. None of it seems like patently false. I do like the idea of me hanging myself. That is exciting. But it lended itself to, if it didn't work for our wonderful intern, perhaps it would work for other public figures like myself. So we had Jonathan Wallach and young Nicholas. Now, two people not nearly as well known as me, but yet information lies out there of them. You know? Now, what for some minor leaguers, what does it come up with? ChatGPT. Some real single A idiots.
But enough about them available in public platforms to where it should be able to come up with something.
Yeah, and you and I will be the judge if these are real or not.
Okay, all right.
Not them.
Oh.
Because you would agree that the psychic reading on me is not like outlandish. It's not like patently false.
No,
like
and,
all of that could ring true.
Some of that, yeah, but some of it is horoscope gobbledygook that could apply to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, you have issues because of something between you and your father? Oh, that's so you and only you.
Right.
You're the only
It's
one.
like I see someone in your life whose first name starts with a C, like something like that.
yeah.
Right. Like the father emotional wound stuff. And again, this was sent to me by a woman. So again, I think that part of it, I don't even know if she tried. So I'm also interested to see what it says about you guys, because you guys, John didn't run his own thing. So I wonder if you just go John Wallach, what it comes up with. I wonder if she fed things into it to like make it come up with certain things.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Or something like that. So we will find out. We have John's and Nick's AI psychic readings coming up in just a moment.
The whistles go woo!
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sport.
Official Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox were beaten by Kansas City last night 7-3 at Fenway Park, ending a 7-game winning streak. The Red Sox got an early lead on a 2-run double by Romy Gonzalez, but Dustin May had some trouble in his Sox debut after that. The visitors came back. May allowed 3 runs and 6 hits and didn't make it out of the 4th inning. Red Sox have tonight off. They visit San Diego tomorrow evening. In other Sox news, they've signed Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million contract extension. Craig Breslow just locked up his best young player.
It was the responsible decision in my view. We had someone who was very outspoken who about wanting to be here and how much they enjoyed the city of Boston, the fan base, the opportunity to put on a Red Sox uniform every day.
With escalators in this deal tied to Rookie in the Year and MVP voting and All-Star selections, Anthony could make an extra $100 million over the length of the deal, which also includes a team option. Patriots took part in a joint practice with the Washington Commanders yesterday morning in Foxborough. Mike Vrabel, the big story. He was so involved in the workout, he suffered a cut on his face when he tried to break up a big scrum between players. These two teams will play each other in an exhibition game tomorrow night in Foxborough. And the Little Leaguers from Braintree, Massachusetts play Bedford, New Hampshire tonight in Bristol, Connecticut. This is the championship game of the New England Regional. The winner of this game tonight goes to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the McGovern Automotive Group. McGovern and 98.5 The Sports Hub are giving away a brand new Ford F-150. For more info on how to enter, follow 98.5 The Sports Hub and McGovern Auto Group on Instagram. Complete rules and details at 98.5thesportshub.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sent me someone I know sent me a text out of the blue with an AI psychic reading of myself, in which I proceeded to read on the air. And I tried to get the intern. I had the intern try to do it, and she said it didn't work for her, and that's because she's not a public figure. So we pivoted and thought maybe John and Nick could try. And here in my hand, are you ready, Hardy? I have John Wallach's psychic reading.
Whoa! Now, psychological profile or psychic reading?
It's a psychic reading.
Okay.
But I guess it works as both.
Yeah.
Here's your vibe check, which is scientific.
Got it.
For surface energy. Wallach's energy is firm, deliberate, and no nonsense. He comes off as the adult in the room, which is what every show needs.
Everyone loves a hall monitor.
Yeah, he's the what I believe Opie and Anthony refer to as the hole.
That's the that's usually the most popular guy in the room, the hall monitor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Calm, prepared.
Your orange little slinglet thing that goes across the shoulder.
You don't have a pass.
Yeah.
Calm, prepared, and unimpressed by chaos. He reacts with restraint, but when he speaks, it lands. His vibe says, I've seen this before, and I'm not here for the nonsense.
That's right.
That's right. Energetic impression, which is different apparently than the vibe check.
All right.
His aura feels tightly structured, like a system that's been built to hold back both emotion and frustration. There's a controlled intensity, with sharp intellect underneath. He does not dominate with volume. He controls the room with tone. Others adjust to him, not the other way around. Nick, did you give it any information, or did you just put John Wallach's psychic reading? What is just? I can't. By that gesture, I don't know what he's saying.
He is saying he did not get. You're saying you did not give it any information. I'm sorry. No, why don't you get on the mic and you can answer?
Yeah, Nicholas, what did you tell
I did not give any information.
What did you put into it? Because obviously this is incredibly incorrect. What did you put into it? You just put John Wallach's psychic reading?
I have it right here. I can print it out for you.
I don't need you to print it out. Just can you kind of encapsulate what you put?
Exactly what was said in your text, setting up the psychic reading.
Okay, so
I just changed a few things.
When he
like
says my text, that might not be clear. What it
right, I had to rephrase it.
Shush. What he said is, he goes, "Can you send me the first part of what that girl sent you?" And what it says is, POV, ChatGPT does a psychic reading. Let's tune into Fred Toucher, blending the practical with the intuitive, considered an energy-based profile of his public presence, woven with a little creative psychic style flair.
So I simply just
you put John Wallach instead of Fred Toucher. Okay,
Yes.
get away from the microphone. Thank you. Do you see how he's on the spot? Like, just asking him, what did you do?
I want the knife.
Oh, okay. It's a Golden Child thing. All right.
Give me the knife.
With his, you just ask him, what did you do yesterday? And it's like this, oh, God. Oh no. I got to relay this information now?
Mac! I tell you what you didn't do yesterday. Call your estranged father.
Mental and emotional landscape. John's mind is sharp, skeptical, and always scanning. Okay.
Always scanning.
He's analytical, precise, and allergic to fluff. But emotionally, you're allergic to the cat? The dead cat? But emotionally, there's more going on than he lets on. Now, this is what I did not have this. Emotional contradictions. Craves calm, feeds off tension. Wants respect, expects to be challenged. Deeply cares, acts like he doesn't. Values logics, gets rattled by disrespect, hates chaos, secretly thrives on it. He often buries how much things affect him until he doesn't. That is the same line they use for me. Emotional wounds. Here we go. There's lingering hurt from his parents' divorce and his prior marriage failures.
True.
There's lingering hurt
that's
from
true.
the times he was dismissed or unfairly labeled, especially when he was just being honest. That left him guarded. He's slow to trust and quick to defend. Underneath the sharpness is a guy who just doesn't want to be misunderstood again. Spiritual snapshot. John's soul is that of a guardian of truth. He's not here to sugarcoat or bend to the crowd. He's here to call things out and hold the line.
I'm a warrior of justice, if nothing else.
All right, well, this is funny. His spirit animal is a peregrine falcon.
Peregrine falcon. That's
It does not say that. Oh, my God.
See? It's accurate. There you go.
His spirit is a peregrine falcon? Is that what it's called? Peregrine. Sharp, fast, and focused. Ready to mate.
That's a chickadee.
The falcon.
Here I am.
Hello, Peregrine. Let's be friends. Present yourself. Let's mate. The falcon represents clarity, precision, and a quiet dominance. It watches from above, waits patiently, and strikes with purpose. Like Wallach, it doesn't waste time or energy. It doesn't ask for respect. It commands it.
Damn right. I'm liking this. I'm liking all things about this.
Respect me. Respect me. Listen to me. I got scores. Listen to me.
He thrives in make shrimp scampi. He thrives in making shrimp scampi and enjoying Robert Parker novels. He's structured environments, roles that respect history and detail, teams that need consistency, places that don't waste his time. His public persona is sharper than most, but that's what makes him necessary. He adds weight where others add noise. Here's your closing message to finish things up. You don't need to soften to be seen. Your strength is in your clarity. Just don't let it turn into a wall. You've earned the right to speak your mind, but you've also earned peace. You're not here to prove anything anymore. You're here to fly above the noise.
It doesn't say that. It says that?
No, I just made it. You fly above the noise. No,
All
it
right.
says that.
The fly above the noise part is
No,
what
I didn't make that up. No, I didn't make that up. All right.
All right.
Hardy,
Call me now for your free reading.
Hell yeah.
your thoughts, Hardy, on what this, how this pertains to John.
As I expected, there's some very generic gobbledygook that could apply to a lot of people.
I'm wondering if it's not as precise because there's less information about him out there.
Yes.
There's like almost nothing about his personal life, I would imagine, available. Because this seems like overly generic, to be if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing a bit, this seems like highly generic. And anytime it uses intelligence too. a little off.
I just heard 2 words: quiet dominance. That's all I heard.
That is true. I mean, you are quite the alpha. Yeah. All right. Well, John, congratulations.
Thank you.
You had to have thought it would be
doing
much
a lot
worse.
better now. Oh yeah.
All right, Nicholas, come in here. We need Nicholas in here. So you might want that trombone ready to go.
Oh yeah. Well, if his Nick is walking in. Come on.
Oh, you ran.
Oh,
Someone's been.
He's got his headphones on.
Whoa.
Oh, you had him on in there. Because he thought he might be asked another question. All right, he's in. He's in. Very quickly, Ed, go ahead, Ed.
Gentlemen, I got to tell you, I have a little something to have a qualm. Your AI
Whose?
horoscope, I'm sorry, Fred's AI horoscope clearly wasn't accurate because your preoccupation with money equates power and equates a standing in life is your unending and complete personality. And it didn't hit it, so it has to be
Explain. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Because every conversation you have with Hardy ends with how much some celebrity makes and how he's not worth it and you're underpaid. And it seems to me that that's your concentration in life, and that's what makes you tick. And that's fine. But
is that a fair analysis, Hardy?
I don't think it's every conversation, but it does come up a lot with, but I would say only with radio people. I don't think it happens with other celebrities.
Yeah,
and stuff
I have an
like
issue with like the smartless guys getting paid the amount of money that they get paid.
Yeah, look, there are other people that I know, other people that I've worked with who are completely obsessed with that. And I understand what you're saying. Like their default position is, well, he's rich, so he's awesome. That guy's a baller. I don't think Fred feels that way. I think it is specific to the industry, podcasters, radio people, what they make versus or in comparison to what he makes. And yeah, that's fair, but it's not a blanket statement that applies to everybody.
And I'm also not. I don't know why I'm making it sound like I'm underpaid. I don't know if that's fair. I don't.
It's really more about the injustice of other people who are so wildly overpaid.
And it's more valuing the industry as a whole, and
and the people who are handing out that money. It's really more a commentary on them than the people making the money.
Yes, that is true. And also, if you're talking about Pat McAfee, it's the idea that like when you're making that amount of money, all of a sudden like we're just having fun.
Yeah, no,
you're not
wildly overpaid.
Well, but even if he's not, like you're just not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
You're part of a machine. You're part of the Disney Corporation. All right, Nicholas.
Look,
hi.
Nick's in here now. There's no way he can even read the first paragraph of this in the amount of time that we have.
Well, let's give it a try. Nick, grab your psychic reading here, and you put in the same thing as you did for that was written about me and John. All right, go ahead.
At first glance, Nick Gemelli carries the energy of someone who's both approachable and unpredictably sharp.
Spot on.
He gives off a vibe of someone who doesn't crave the spotlight, but then when he steps into it, he leaves a mark.
True.
His surface energy feels casual.
You left a mark on that chair when you soiled yourself. You didn't leave a message on Mark's answering machine.
He gives off a vibe of someone who doesn't crave the spotlight. Oh, I already read that. His surface energy feels casual, maybe even a bit self-deprecating. But there's a subtle intensity underneath, like someone who knows more than he lets on and enjoys the power of that quiet knowledge. He's the guy that's in the back who can make the whole room laugh or squirm with one well-timed comment.
What's the last time Nick laid a zinger on any of us?
Guys?
The last time will be the first time.
I tell you what, I can count precisely once. It was in a post-show meeting.
Maybe. I think I know what you're talking about.
The line was mostly mouth stuff. And
okay.
It was a spit take line.
Okay.
But that's it.
That's true.
I'm funny.
Yeah, he's thrown a couple out in the control room here. Yeah. In fact, one of the drops you have for this bit is from him, and you shouted that out and made us laugh. So I'd say that's accurate.
What, this?
Call me now for your free reading.
That's not something he said.
Yes, but he's the one who made it. He brought that up and it made us all laugh.
Well, this over-explanation really proves the point that he's quite the quick wit. All right, go ahead. When you have to come up with a instance, go ahead.
Okay, so next segment. The Knicks' energetic field feels like an odd but compelling cocktail. Grounded earth with unpredictable air current. There's stability and loyalty, likely.
All right, hold on.
Wait.
What's that word again?
Loyalty.
No, the one before that.
Stability.
Stability?
Oh, boy.
Stability. Stability.
Yes!
Stability.
Yes,
Yeah.
stuck the landing. Nice.
And loyalty, likely from his deep roots in Boston and sense of place, but also
Yeah. And also in Italy.
restless.
Yeah. Wrestling?
Also
How
restlessness.
SummerSlam.
Wrestleness?
Restlessness. He moves between roles, moods, and opinions with ease. Sometimes even
He reads with ease.
Steps into that.
Listen, I'm trying
anchor
to
role.
Very intellectual.
All right.
It's like Peter Jennings sitting over there. Easy transition.
Sometimes even with amusement. His aura hums with a chaotic intellect. Like someone who has too many tabs open in his brain, but actually thrives in that way. His energy doesn't chase validation, but it's wired to
Or
prove
deserve it.
Wow, that was nice. But it's wired to prove something.
When does it mention your day drinking?
I don't know. We'll find out in 30 minutes when I finish this thing.
Oh, there's the self-deprecation.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
So he's been led on.
All right, so but it's wired to prove something, often to himself. Do we have time to?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick. You got 2
Okay.
minutes.
All right, cool. Nick's mind is sharp, reactive, and observant. He sees through BS like glass, especially in the people or system.
He sees through BS like a mirror.
Yeah.
He sees
Emotionally,
like a cloudy day.
Emotionally,
Like
he
a
doesn't
steamer.
always show his cards, but the depth
can't
is
read
there. Often buried under sarcasm, dry humor, or outright
Go fish. Uno.
or outright distractions.
Monosyllabic words.
Okay.
Nick, you should skip ahead to emotional wounds to wrap up the segment, I think.
Thank you.
Emotional wounds. There's a noticeable energetic residue from past moments of underestimation.
Yeah, there's some residue. Had to throw
the
that chair
sheets.
away.
I wish he would have never come over.
Being overlooked, misread, or dismissed, whether from early life or professional chapters, Nick carries a chip on his shoulder, but not in a bitter way. It fuels him. It fuels him.
It fuels him, too.
He also bears subtle wounds around belongings. He fits in everywhere and
His
nowhere.
underwear. He was covered in his own feces.
Always adjacent to the center of things, but not always inside. That outsider on the inside vibe.
Okay.
Outsider on the hold on. On the inside vibe,
It's about to
shapes
get good.
a lot of how he navigates relationship, work, and
Okay.
self-worth.
All right, so suffice it to say, the less information about you that's available online, the less accurate these things can be. Right. All right, very good, Nick. Thank you.
I thought I did pretty well.
What, reading it? Yeah, sure. I didn't say anything about you reading it. I said that I don't think that that's overly accurate summation of you. It seemed very broad strokes,
Right.
I would say.
When he was talking about what he fits into, if they said he fits into trousers with a 38-inch waist and a 28-inch inseam, now that would be specific and accurate. But it didn't say that.
It did not. You're saying he's very bottom heavy.
He's got that luscious muffin ass.
Oh, well, hello. I mean, someone's been in the Kentucky penal system. All right. We will be back. There you go. The great Nick Gemelli. I guess you can really take the AI psychic reading. We're not there yet where it can actually read you. For that, you need an actual human being.
Yeah.
To sit there and really get you by the looks of you. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Andrew Callahan, our good friend, will be joining us.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the Sports Hub.
All right.
Hardy.
Such an enticing explosion.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
We want to practice the same way we practice against our team. That's by playing physical and aggressive and not doing stuff that hurts.
They're the same. They're very different.
Very different. But Andrew Callahan joins us. Hi, Andrew.
Good morning, fellas.
What did you make of Vrabel launching himself into the pile and coming out bloodied yesterday?
I liked it almost as much as that sound you played heading into the segment, that we can't let our emotions get the better of us as we practice as the way we want to play. Look, I think it was a great reminder that very often Mike Vrabel is a meathead genius, and that applies to just football as a whole, and that there's still that old player that we watched 20 years ago very much inside him. But then also he'll have times where he is a genius meathead, and this was more of the latter, in that he dives in to try to save something without thinking, oh, if I'm at the bottom of the pile and I come out with a, fractured forearm, how does that look to a bunch of guys who I just told, be safe, we want to stay healthy, the season is still a month away, and I'm not even wearing pads. So I enjoyed it. I just think we're overlooking the fact that that could have gone very poorly for the new head coach of the Patriots.
How premeditated was that, do you think? That,
I don't think at all.
You think it was just a gut instinct? That I got to protect my guys?
The thing about Vrabel is that he has been the same guy since high school. And Michael Holley can tell you this as someone who actually covered him in high school out in Ohio, and that he's sarcastic and he's a smartass and he's tough and he's brilliant when it comes to football. And that also he'll jump in there without second thought. And by the way, this is not the first time he's done this. This happened down in Tennessee a few years ago. So yeah, I think this was just pure Vrabel instinct.
How much of this has to do with the fact that Joe Mazzulla was at camp last week?
Oh, yeah, push hands.
And has he influenced Mike Vrabel to go down this route?
Yeah, I think it's undeniable, Hardy. I mean, look, anything that happens a week ago, has to influence the next week, and this is the clearest and most obvious example in life. I mean, Joe Mazzulla has nothing else to do for the next 12 months but to hang out with Mike Vrabel and try to convert him, because we know the Celtics season is not looking great. With Chris Boucher as the new starting center, come on down. But, look, I think it was funny in retrospect that Mike made a comment about we've got very different personalities, but he likes to learn. So I appreciate that about him. And in this moment, of course, he looks no more like Joe Mazzulla than he ever has before.
Okay. Not that they were giving accounts and descriptions beyond the scope of what is allowed by the NFL, but Zolak and Bertrand yesterday, I heard mention of the fact that when Washington was out there and on offense, a lot of positive plays. A lot of positive plays against the Patriots defense yesterday during the joint practice. And for a team whose defense is supposed to be their calling card and the superior component of this team, did you see that yesterday? And what else did you see defensively before we get into the offensive stuff?
Yeah, I'll start at the end, which was probably their best period, where the Commanders, like Drake May did the series later, had 45 seconds, started the 25-yard line, and the last play of that series was Alex Austin, your new number 3 corner, batting a ball in the way in the end zone from Jaden Daniels to force a turnover on down. So the defense had its moments. The areas that they brought up, because I was watching the defense virtually all of practice, were two problems. Number one is the perimeter run defense was atrocious. Like anytime Washington ran a zone read and handed the ball off, or had a pitch or a toss or whatever it was, they got basically an explosive play. Like the guys on the edge, Keon White, Harold Landry once or twice, not good. The other part is they had real trouble covering Zach Ertz, and this speaks to something in the safeties room where, we know Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers and Jalen Hawkins. There's a lot of talent in there, but there's also a lot of overlap. And the skills that they're missing, specifically covering man-to-man or just one-on-one in some of these zone coverages that convert to man as the routes develop, is missing. And that showed through. Part of that is going to be adjustment to the new scheme. But, Jaden Daniels started 4-4, and a lot of those throws were 15 yards downfield. He cooled late, but those are the two big issues that I think those guys are hinting at.
But taking a look at it from a macro point of view, I read you and Mike and Phil, and it seemed to me that the Patriots were better than this overall. It seemed to me that all of you came away with the theory that maybe the Patriots got the better of things by a slim margin at the end of the day.
Yeah, I do think so. I think they were faster and more athletic, which is drawing, considering how many times we've not said that for the last 5, 6, maybe 7 years, even the end of the Brady era. And accounting for Jaden Daniels as the other quarterback of the other team. But, after that first period or two for the starting defense where they were getting carved up, you had a sack from Harold Landry, Marcus Jones, Christian Barmore got through with a couple of pressures. Milton Williams is more or less a non-factor, which is not great for a guy getting his paychecks. But the point is, once the defense evened out and you're watching the offense start to finish, the offense had the better performance start to finish. So that, to me, is what gave them the slight upper hand.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about the offensive line because it's been 45 seconds since it was mentioned by anybody anywhere. Will Campbell obviously still I guess the main topic of conversation there, but as a unit, there's some shuffling going on last week and trying to different positions. Is it coming together with any consistency yet?
Not yet, Hardy, and it's due to a couple of things. Number one is that Cole Strange entered as their starting left guard, and they got demoted after a week, and that has not changed. Jared Wilson, their third-round rookie, who they're really, really happy with, and I think for good reason, is now that starting left guard. So you got a lineup change on one side. The opposite side, Morgan Moses is on this largely load management plan, though he sounds a little bit nicked up, and he didn't perform at all yesterday, which leaves a revolving door of old pal Demontre Jacobs, who we watched for most of last season, and didn't have many good things to say at our televisions while we were doing so, as well as a seventh-round rookie in Marcus Bryant. And so, Mike Onwenu really has been the lone pillar there of consistency in terms of availability and of performance. The one person I've not mentioned, of course, yet is Will Campbell. And Will Campbell continues to be a mixed bag at left tackle, which I don't think should shock anyone. And that number one, rookie offensive tackles, even those drafted in the top 5 and top 10, historically are not very good as rookies. Number two, when I say mixed bag, there are some flashes of, you see the athleticism that even when he might lose the initial part of a rep, he's still holding on because of how flexible and how strong he is from a position that doesn't look good, but he's keeping the guy in front of him. So Zach Cox and Doug Herald did a great job. They watched every single rep of the offense and came away with him getting a win, a tie, and a loss, an individual pass rush, and giving up probably a couple of pressures in what was, 30 to 40 snaps of the starting offense.
Okay.
What you saw all of this action yesterday, but the two teams still have a game to play tomorrow night. I mean, how much are we going to see the starters tomorrow evening based on what you saw yesterday?
So my sense would be, Wallach, that it's probably a series or two, maybe three, and this will depend on the player. Like the Patriots this training camp, more than any time in the Belichick era and last year with Gerard Mayo, are really treating players on an individual basis when it comes to their health and, again, their load management. So, for example, sometimes Harold Landry just got an off day last week on a Wednesday. Morgan Moses, I've told you, he's been in and out of the lineup. Carlton Davis gets to apparently take off every practice except for walkthroughs because that's the only time we've seen him. So history would tell us, and Mike Vrabel did yesterday, okay, the guys will probably start, and then they'll exit because all of the starters got a lot of run yesterday, and ultimately, if anyone got hurt, August 8th or whatever it's going to be, August 8th tomorrow, there's no good way to explain that, of why we had those guys out there. So I think it'll be quick.
Okay, and how much different is it than last year? You mentioned that, they're treating players individually. I remember after the first joint practice last year, people were flipping out about how crappy everything was. Is there a considerable sense of more professional? It's a more professional operation. Did the players seem more talented? Like, what's your overall read compared to last year?
Absolutely more talented. And I'll put it this way. When the Eagles did come in last year and kick the Patriots' ass, there was a big talent gap. There was a big coaching gap. Everything was evident. Okay, the Eagles, of course, go on to play the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. And we all know the Eagles are much better than the Commanders. But the Commanders come in here yesterday at the same place and face the same team with the same logo in the Patriots, and they were not the better football team, the team that was in the NFC title last year. So what does that mean? It means all the talent the Patriots brought in via the draft and free agency and flipping over 48% of the roster has shown some improvements. As far as the coaching goes and the energy, it is the most competitive training camp we've seen, I think, in the last 5-6 years, really since the end of the Brady years. And it's not just to do with the talent, it's the tempo. So that has been balanced with, again, the load management piece, which Belichick never really did anything with. Mike Vrabel going, hey, we're going to have 3 walkthroughs in the first 12 days of practice. And it shocked me. But the only one I really quibbled with was day 3, because I just think everyone probably had more to give on day 3 of training camp, knowing day 5 was going to be an off day. But the point is, they're working smarter. And then when they are working hard, it's as competitive and fierce as any camp that I've seen. So it's so far so good.
Well, I have one question about the wide receivers. Terry McLaurin wasn't there yesterday for Washington. I'm curious, from your point of view, did yesterday push the Commanders to trade McLaurin to the Patriots or to keep him?
No, I think it pushed the price up for his agent, who just had to be smiling at all of the tweets coming in about how Jaden Daniels started well, but they couldn't complete a single pass to a receiver because their receiver stunk and probably do stink without him. So that's nothing new in Washington. I think he's going to stay. I know Diana Rossini said in your airwaves yesterday that like he's just going to stay and there's no chance he gets traded. And I think she's right.
I didn't even think about until you mentioned the fact that, the starters might be in there for a series or two because it's, Drake May, it's Will Campbell, it's Stephon Diggs. It's going to be a lot of Josh Dobbs tomorrow night.
Yep.
This is the first Patriots camp in a long time where the quarterback situation is, I would say, clear cut from the start and also not much else to talk about other than the starter. I mean, this probably hasn't happened going back to the first post-Brady year.
Yeah, how about this? You just feel good about it, right? Like there is certainty here, and you go, okay, I know the guy, and I know he's talented. And there's been no kind of calm about this since 2019, because 2020, of course, we didn't get any preseason or training camp. You didn't know how much Cam Newton, who signed in June of that year, had left, and then he's battling a rookie after throwing more picks and touchdowns the year before. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. I will say, though, because the amount of work that Josh Dobbs got in yesterday, Doug Hyde had him 18 of 22 for us at the Herald. I think Ben Woldridge is also probably going to get a lot of run because this is what happens in the joint practices. You get a ton of snaps there and reps. That's what the coaching staff counts as kind of your work for the week. And then the other guys who didn't play a whole lot, well, now you have to see them in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's exciting.
Oh,
I mean, you get 3 series into that thing.
Okay, so the Josh Dobbs, exciting enough. Woodridge? Who is it?
Woolridge?
Is that Woldridge.
Right? Woldridge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's who I'm excited about.
Yeah.
The possibility of seeing him for like maybe an entire half.
That's the first time I've heard that name in my entire life. and I'm on this station.
Joe Milton's replacement is the third stringer.
Oh, Joey Milt. I mean, you've heard the rumors about his career going up.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a cannon.
If you can picture a quarterback who's just the complete diametric opposite of Joe Milton, that's Ben Woldridge. I'll put that.
So he's smart.
That's it.
Okay, very good. Andrew Callahan, thank you so much for the time, sir. Enjoy yourself, and we look forward to having you on again on a regular basis.
Sounds good. Can't wait, guys.
All right, there you go. The
Thanks,
great Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Yeah. I am not sleeping well, which John never sleeps well. So I'm asking for him how he, despite his cool and rational intellect, as described his quiet dominance, as his psychic AI reading said, despite his quiet dominance, how he gets through these nights of very little sleep. It's not easy.
No.
That I would tell you.
No, melatonin works for me to a
Yeah,
point.
but once you get going on that, John, I mean, you start consuming things your body already makes.
Sure.
You know, once you start going down that, that nutrient aisle.
Yeah.
Supplements. I mean, that's a game that is a very dangerous game to play. Next thing you know, you're shooting up magnesium.
Well, we don't want to go that far.
You're spraying it on your joints and rubbing it in and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, how far away is he from the spike? He was in the kitchen over one of the burners. Just he had some aluminum foil out and he had straw and he was just all the smoke coming off of it.
Jamming dragons down the hole.
Yeah. I'm convinced melatonin doesn't do anything. And if it does enough to put you to sleep, that's fantastic.
You take it?
No.
Oh, it's one you don't take.
No, that's the one. I spend $10,000 a month in supplements. I'm knocking them all back. You can't get me out of nature's
I'm
end.
GNC, I'm Walgreens, I'm Whole Foods, everything.
Yeah.
Anything homeopathic, give it to me.
Well, here's a question. Hardy, do you have trouble now that you're relatively speaking, new to this shift? Do you have trouble? Does it comes and goes in waves with me. There are weeks where I can't sleep and weeks that I can. How do you handle this?
Oh, I can. The only trouble I'll have sometimes is getting to sleep. Like last night, I was too tired and couldn't get to sleep. And that's been the last couple of nights. But once I'm out, I'm out.
That's right. You have the gift. I forgot about that.
Well, I'm pretty good about once I go to sleep, staying asleep. I mean, and if I get up to urinate the 15th time, I can I can find myself back to sleep. But what is disturbing about it is that I did like real yoga, like where it was hot and everything in there. I didn't know that going into it, but it was very hot. They made the room hot, which I don't know why. And there were dudes that could hold their leg over their head, which I didn't think is appropriate for a man to be able to do. And because there was this time where they're like, just like kind of do whatever you want. And there was this guy that was like standing on one leg with like the other foot in his hand.
Yeah, there's no need for anyone to do it, but especially a guy. And like, what are you doing?
And even when people go like, look at that chick, she can put her leg over her head. I'm like, so what? What does that have to do with you?
And for a guy, it's like that seems like counter to just evolution. Like you really want to expose yourself like that?
Yeah, and it's like you have ultimate trust of everyone around you. That's right. You're giving up your ability to procreate, which could last conceivably till the end of your life.
Yeah.
And you're just giving someone an opportunity to take that away from you. But I did that, and then I did the sauna cold plunge.
You went back a second time.
Yeah,
to the cold plunge.
Yeah. Because there were some fellas that weren't there the first time that had to see what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, the alpha's still here, boys.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are already out? Oh, round 2. Like, how long do we want to do this for? Guy goes, the guy goes to me, this happened. The question. He said, how cold do you think this is? I go, not cold enough.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. Why don't you dump some ice in here?
That's right.
See if I get out. There's nothing you could do in here.
I'll
take a dump in here. I'll stay in it.
I'll be here all day, Jack.
Yeah. I mean, if
that was his Super Bowl Prince moment. That was his. Can they make it rain harder? How cold's the tub? I don't know. Can they make it colder?
No, but in all seriousness, like if you do that and then you like do basically the sauna, that should, wear you out enough physically like that. That's the whole purpose of the sauna. I thought to do at night. Is that
the more you do it though, the hot tub used to like put me right out. I would get out of the hot when we first got it, and my entire body would feel like rubber, and I would collapse and I would fall right asleep. I'm like, man, this is the greatest thing ever. Now, I mean, I still use it and still like it, but I'll get out and I'm like, within 2 minutes, I'm feeling back to the way I was.
Because there's none greater a natural feeling, I believe, in the world that is self-contained than if you are tired enough where you can't stay awake. Like where you shut your eyes, and even if you fight it, like there's no fighting it. Like your mind and body have accepted that you're going to sleep. It's almost like a utopian. Like it's like this Zen feeling of like incredible. Like look at what my body's capable of.
On the couch watching TV, you're supposed to be watching something together. And like I don't care. I'm letting the sleep take me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's more like I'll lay on my back even, and I'll be like, wow, you're really tired. And I'm like, well, and then that part of your brain goes like, fight it, and then the majority of my brain takes over and goes, there's no fighting it.
Yeah.
And then you just fall into sleep. That's what I thought was going to happen. And my daughter was at my house last night because she's here today, and she was up yapping away on the phone, and I kept going like, why am I not going to bed? Why am I not going to bed? And then when I got into bed, that whole conversation had made its way into the bed. My internal conversation of now it was, why can't I go to sleep? Why can't I go to sleep?
Yeah.
And that is that's no good. That's no good. It's I really expected I'd worn myself out to the point where it was that overtaking, but then when it wasn't,
It doesn't matter.
it got frustrating.
I can screw it all up in the last 5 minutes. I can be so exhausted. I was last night. I said, that's it. I'm going up to bed. Hold on a second. Let me take the dog out. And that's what screws it up. Number one, because then you go out there and we're checking the perimeter. She starts barking at stuff that isn't there. I'm shining the Secret 2 Pro in that direction. Now I'm on.
Now the neighbors are up, and you're looking at what they're doing.
That's
exactly.
Right. You use the Secret 2 Pro to look at other houses?
No.
Why is the woman upstairs and the man downstairs?
Yeah.
Let's investigate.
I do see what people are watching on the TV set.
Yeah.
And
then you got to question why.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
You're not really checking the perimeter. You're
That's part of the perimeter.
Oh, okay.
Anything in my field of vision,
I see.
Consider the perimeter.
All right.
Learn Army, John. But then I also think the pre-bed shower screws me up. I read about this not long ago.
Right.
Like cold water will actually do better to put you to sleep. The warm shower does not, and it makes sense. You take a warm shower in the morning to help you wake up. It makes sense that a warm shower at night or a hot shower at night does not help you get sleepy, and that's what I do every single night. Take a shower right before bed. I don't think that's helping. I might have to become a morning shower person. Like
I thought a
Wallach
cold shower wakes you up, and a warm shower puts you to sleep. I thought that was the old adage.
I read the opposite, and I believe everything I read.
Just look at Nick's, AI psychic report about his subtle brilliance, his intellectual prowess, as he couldn't read the word intellectual.
What is that?
Stability.
Okay.
What is that?
Stability.
What is that? The noise he's playing?
Yes.
That is. Well, someone's never done yoga or meditated.
It's true. I haven't.
Is that a singing bowl?
It's a Tibetan singing bowl.
Singing bowl. Okay.
I mean, what planet is this guy on? Talk about xenophobic. My God, John. Experience something other than your little vacuum of baseball and apple pie. There's a whole world out there.
Obviously not in a yoga studio.
Yeah, well, obviously not. Maybe you could open yourself
Have you
up
ever
to
done
it.
yoga?
No, I have not.
Come on, that's another thing you should have done at least once.
You expect him to stretch on that perch? He's gripping that thing with all his might.
Now you're just being mean.
No, I'm
Because
not.
I haven't experienced yoga, hot yoga.
No, hot yoga is nonsense. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think it was going to be hot. I didn't know what was going on.
Spread your wings.
Yeah.
Curl your toes.
Clipped wings. Can't escape. Bum scene.
Suffocate.
It's a drag. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. There has been a big, according to Adam, a big apocalyptic change in the sports media scene that's going to change everything, and we will get into that. We have audio and all kinds of stuff. We'll have that in just a moment.
Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Kansas City snapped the Red Sox 7-game winning streak last night, care of a 7-3 win at Fenway Park. Jonathan India, a 3-run homer for the visitors. Dustin May allowed 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings in his Red Sox debut. Sox have tonight off. They open up a 3-game weekend series against San Diego tomorrow night on the West Coast. Before the game last night, the Sox announced they had signed top prospect Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million contract extension. The deal includes a club option. There are $100 million more in escalators possible. Patriots held a joint practice with the Washington Commanders yesterday in Foxborough. The big story of the game was not that the Patriots held their own against a very good NFC team. It was Mike Vrabel who took a cut to the cheek while trying to break up a fight after a play. DeMario Douglas was all for it.
Yeah, I said, Coach, what's wrong with you, man? He said, hey, you should see the other guy. So, I laughed at that coach, man. He'll do anything for us, and that's love right there.
The two teams will play an exhibition game against each other tomorrow night at Gillette Stadium. The Commanders announced yesterday before the practice, hold-in wide receiver Terry McLaurin did not make the trip to Foxborough. And the Braintree, Massachusetts Little Leaguers face Bedford, New Hampshire tonight, the championship of the New England Regional. Winner of this game goes to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. 24-hour on-call service for your Clyde Drain emergencies. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Hey, if your alarm clock sounds like this is the show for you. Toucher and Hardy, The Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us live on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. What spawned Pat McAfee to tweet the scene? It could not have been expressed without the gif of John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd from the 1980 comedy The Blues Brothers toasting with champagne at that dinner table scene. He really put the cherry on top of the sundae with the gif. What intelligence? So you said, what would spawn him to say? I assume all the mid-level, powerless, bum-ass suits at ESPN will attempt to muddy this somehow out of context, leaks, ignorant, anonymous opinions, etc. But in the end, this agreement will outlive the dinosaurs currently guarding the desks at Bristol, and the deal will be great for ESPN. As awful announcing in the article explains it, McAfee could have just celebrated this particular deal, but that's not who he is. In fact, it's never been who he is. He's a disruptor. That's right. He's the Disney Corporation disruptor. There is no one more counterculture than the ex-punter Pat McAfee. But if you wonder what he's talking about, we have audio of a man who said that Felger was the litmus, the pulse, the voice of the populace of Boston. And what is his name?
June Lee.
This is June Lee.
Who's on this show as well.
Yeah. Talking about, as well. I mean, okay. You've shoehorned that in. I didn't say he's on Felger and Mazz. I said he wrote about Felger and Mazz.
Yeah, stop shoehorning, Adam.
Yeah, that was shoehorned. That was a shoehorn
I'll
statement.
put my shoehorn away.
Thank you. Please do. You don't need it for the boots you have on. All right, or the shoes, for that matter. All right, here we go. Here is June Lee talking about this deal.
Why do so many people think sports are rigged? Sports are built on one idea, that the games aren't rigged. Which brings me to this. This week, the NFL announced that it now owns 10% of ESPN, and ESPN will run NFL Network. And that's a big shift, because ESPN used to be the journalism outlet that kept the NFL most accountable. For full transparency, I used to work at ESPN. I was laid off in 2023.
Oh, well, someone's got a bone to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what mid-level suit was responsible for that. If only you were more of a disruptor.
The journalism outlet that used to investigate the NFL is now partially owned by them. ESPN has also licensed its name to a sports book. So the NFL now owns part of a media company that promotes gambling on its own games. And according to the agreement that ESPN made with the company that's running their sportsbook, the more money that sportsbook makes, the more opportunities ESPN has to own stock in the gambling company. Which means the more money you lose betting on football, the more money the NFL and ESPN makes. That's just the business model now. When the league owns the outlet that's supposed to hold it accountable, it's not journalism anymore, it's PR. This is feeding into the lack of trust that surrounds sports right now. According to a 2025 poll from Sacred Heart, 61% of sports fans are worried about games being rigged.
Okay, and now I would assume that the rise in that, if it's indeed a rise, is because people can't accept the fact that they don't know how to gamble and that it is indeed a gamble. And so there has to be any excuse. It's the same thing for conspiracy theories. There has to be some reason things aren't working out for me other than me. Like, I didn't lose that bet because I got the bet wrong. I lost that bet because the league is rigged. Now, that being said, look, ESPN's never covered sports fairly. I mean, they cover sports based on, they shoehorn the WNBA into everything. When they didn't have hockey, they never talked about hockey.
They shoehorn sports that they see important, not sports in general.
Or that they profit from. As soon as they got the NHL back, they started covering the NHL again. So it's not even a matter about keeping ratings. It's just about what they have a stake in. I will say this, though. There's no way that ESPN should be able to run a book anymore. There's no way that sports gambling, if that's all, isn't the NFL not beholden to the same labor laws as everything else too?
It's called an antitrust exemption.
Yeah, they have an antitrust exemption. You can't let ESPN now run a sports gaming operation. You can't. The NFL can't be partners, direct partners with someone covering them that also runs a book. That's just obvious. If you're going to legalize gambling, which I'm all for, you have to now get rid of the ESPN book, and not because of way ESPN's covering sports, even though they could adjust lines, I guess, by the way that they cover things.
I was just going to say they control the lines on their book of the sports that they cover.
Yeah,
that's not right.
But just not from a media analysis of it, but from just a legalized gambling analysis, they should obviously not be able to run a sports gambling operation. As soon as you are the one covering, funding, and everything else, you can't take bets on the thing. That just makes sense.
It goes back to what June have said and what we've talked about on this show in regards to baseball. As soon as you lose the trust that the game isn't rigged, you've lost it entirely. That's the one thing that makes sports better than everything else if you're a fan.
I'm just it's not even about the integrity of the game, and because I don't think ESPN affects the integrity of the game. It's just that they can't take bets. It's entirely the gambling operation that I'd have a problem with. If you're beholden to all your sports information or all your information about anything through one media outlet, then that's on you. ESPN can cover it any way they want to, but they can't also run a gambling book. They can't have their name on a gambling book. They can't. Now, the league can, the gambling book can, advertise on league games and all that stuff, I suppose. But this idea that you can, you've lived in Vegas, Hardy. That seems like something that wouldn't fly.
The separation is becoming non-existent, and it was bad enough before, or I would say problematic enough before, when teams were accepting as advertisers and sponsors these different sites and saying okay, well, what's the issue with the players gambling if you can't? Well, okay, that's a line you can draw pretty easily. You can't gamble on games if you're a player, even though the team is in a business agreement with these gambling sites. Those two don't have anything to do with each other. But now, if you have the entire league as an entity directly involved with a 10% equity stake in a company that operates a sports book, there is no separation anymore. You can't draw a line between the two. There is no line. There's an ownership and an operating agreement in place, and you can't have one thing that bets on the other thing in cahoots in any way, shape, or form. And this isn't like an agreement to air their games or something. This is an actual equity stake that the NFL now has of ESPN. A portion of ESPN is now owned by the NFL.
Yep.
And if part of ESPN is a sports book and you're owned by the league, now it's not just a business agreement anymore. That's ownership.
By the way, Pat McAfee wasn't celebrating the ESPN deal with the NFL. He was celebrating it with the WWE. That's something the bum-ass suits. That's part of his counterculture image. Is that punk rock love of wrestling that is his.
Well, but you can't pin him down.
Because
you can't paint him with just one brush.
Yeah, because has there ever been a more anti-establishment figure than Hulk Hogan? I mean, the whole wrestling thing has really been held a mirror up to society speaking truth to power the entire time. Wrestling really is an agitator in this world. I mean, I remember when I saw the $10,000 slam match, and I'm like, you're going to slam Big John Studd? I mean, that made me question a lot of the Middle East. I mean, I started asking questions at that point in my life.
You know, you brought up the Vegas connection with this, Fred, and it's a good one because when the Maloofs bought the Palms Hotel and Casino,
and they owned the Kings, right?
The Sacramento Kings. You know what you couldn't do? Bet on anything related to the Kings. When Celtics ownership ended up having, a certain amount of stock in, I think it doesn't matter the name of the company. It was the company that owns Caesars. Any Caesars sportsbook, I went in there to place a bet on the Celtics, and you couldn't do it. Why? Because at the time, there was some type of ownership of stock in some company. You can't have the two. You can't have someone who owns or operates a team in connection with anything that allows you to gamble on that team. It brings up far too many questions. And as June Lee said, there doesn't have to be even any evidence of anything going on that affects the game. The mere perception that it's not on the level is enough to make people throw their hands up and say, what am I watching this for?
And, the lack of regulation in the short term is probably benefiting everyone greatly. It benefits ESPN. It benefits the NFL. Yeah. It benefits the sports book. Everyone benefits. But if you take a long look at it, that has an opportunity to really affect business. Like if there becomes this think of how much different media covers things now and how much different people just think about the world now than they did 20 years ago or they did pre 9/11. Just the way that I'm not even using that as like the touchstone, just in the new millennia, like how much you wouldn't have believed it in 2000 that people would politics would be covered this way. Politicians would be acting this way, speaking openly this way. Just mores change in short amount of time now. Like things change. And, if there's all there has to be is a conspiracy theories that were asinine 20 years ago are wildly held beliefs now. So my point is that just that grain of a thought from people now in 10 years' time can become a common fact in people's minds, and that's the NFL is rigged. And if all it has to do is ESPN, when the NFL makes billions and billions of dollars, ESPN losing the sports book, I don't think is crippling to the business of ESPN or the NFL. And I thought ESPN was falling apart, by the way. Wasn't that the big narrative, that ESPN had been grandfathered out by new media and they couldn't handle anything anymore and they couldn't afford anything? And now they got all this control over the NFL and the NFL's in business with them. I thought the narrative even like 8 months ago was ESPN didn't have any money and that Amazon and Netflix were the future of sports broadcasting. I guess that's not true.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
I guess ESPN has plenty.
Yeah, ESPN has pull everywhere.
Where are the tea leaves? Where was awful announcing on this before all this went down? I thought they had to get rid of everyone because they couldn't afford anything.
It's funny. We were talking about how the NFL is expanding everywhere and they're overstepping. And what was Mark Cuban's famous line? Fat pigs get
slaughtered.
Fat pigs get slaughtered. And the NFL was now bloating itself by trying to expand everywhere. Maybe this is the move that finally does it. Maybe this move to take part of ESPN is the tipping point because there are so many questions that arise. Does ESPN get more access than the rest of the networks, who, by the way, pay billions of dollars for that product?
Which also is short-sighted because for numerous reasons. It takes away some of the cachet of having this network, and also it would take away the amount your sports getting covered.
Yeah. If I'm a partner, if I'm CBS, if I'm Fox, if I'm Amazon, for God's sake, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? We're not spending a small amount of money. We're spending a lot of money to carry your product.
Because right now it's the only live programming which they need, which people will come, just like ESPN didn't have any money, people are coming to realize, oh no,
It's the last guaranteed, surefire appointment viewing.
right? We need every advertiser wants appointment viewing. They
Yes.
want their message being seen by the most amount of people at the same amount of time. At the same time. At the same time. Most amount of people at the same time. That's what they want. And live sports is really the only way, one of the only ways to guarantee that. And, things will get back to like live and stuff like that. I have a feeling. But, if I'm Amazon and I'm thinking, well, yeah, I'm working at a disadvantage here. Now, the short term to get people to my platform, that works. But when this deal's up, maybe I don't feel it's worth the investment. I've already got the people subscribe to my platform. I don't need the NFL anymore. Go screw, because Amazon's not making money on the NFL. They're losing their ass on the NFL. But the idea is people will get our service to consume that. Then we got them. And now that's our business plan, to get as many people as possible. It doesn't matter if we're losing money right now. It's to get as many people on our service as possible. The NFL guarantees that. It's the one product that people will get our service to watch.
Yep.
If we get one game a week, people will get our service and pay for it to get that one game. Then once they're in, it's infinitely harder to lose someone than it is to get them. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's harder to get someone than to lose them. I could also put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, once someone's got your service and they're in that habit, that's the biggest block between you and them.
But I just
think of your own life. I mean, think of how much crap that you pay for that you don't even use.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton with these, like, $60 a
Subscriptions
month
and-
here
yeah,
and like
exactly.
apps.
Freaking Roblox.
Oh God.
Oh, but Roblox.
Roblox, huge.
But
huge.
My daughter is a big Roblox player.
Yeah, my kids were too.
You're
Were?
right.
Oh, they're growing up.
But Fred, you're right about the having to have it. That's the one part of the business model that's good for them, maybe not great for the consumer. The thing that might be worse for the consumer, if you're not a believer in the doomsday conspiracy about the betting and the league align with each other, just the fact that now ESPN, who is supposed to be covering objectively the league, is now in part owned by the league. Well, how's that going to affect their coverage?
They're running the NFL network. That's part of the deal. ESPN is taking over the NFL network. Rich Eisen, who works for the NFL network, hosts his own talk show, has been taken in-house by ESPN on their radio platform. I mean, you can't get more into bed than these two guys are. These two companies are.
And that's why McAfee is so, as like a wild card anarchist, is so valuable to the network. Is because he's like the last dose of real world credibility that they have.
I know you're being sarcastic, but it just proves you still don't get it. You don't get him.
I know. It's like he's working on all these levels that are just well above me.
Right.
It's like it's almost that archetype has never been done before of stupid idiot jock. Has never been parlayed in such a fashion.
No one's thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's like really on the avant-garde. I mean, it's just something this old brain can't wrap its head around. That old Ronald Reagan, 1930s type, real, or Burt Reynolds in the 50s. It's, when he played at Florida State is what I'm saying. All right, very good. I just like that. He's an agitator. Yeah, he's a disruptor. He's a real disruptor with his wrestling. The crazy anarchy counterculture that is the WWE. Hey, the loon. All right, we will do our award-winning email segment in just a moment.
right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
Kinda looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, if you want to email us, go to 985thesportshub.com. You can get our information. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. Follow Hardy at Hardy985 on both platforms. And you can follow me at Fred Toucher, where we're reinventing it every day, as we are agitators. Kenneth says, Nick's AI, we did the AI psychic reading of Nicholas. It had a typo. It said he's self-deprecating. It's supposed to say self.
Defecating.
Boom.
There it is.
Hey.
Did you get the alternate John psychic reading from Alex? I believe you did.
Yeah, I didn't read it because I didn't want to spoil it in case it was the same.
No, this is Alex took it upon himself to do what he feels is a more factual version of it.
Oh, he wrote it himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I want you to look at it. I can't read it. It's too mean.
Okay.
You may enjoy it.
You want me to read it aloud, you're saying?
I want you to peruse it first. I'll read another email.
Well, Ryan did say about my chat GPT, I wonder how much ass you'd get if you use your chat GPT as a dating profile.
Ooh.
I bet you'd be cleaning up.
Hey.
To that, I would say, why do you think I read it?
Yeah.
You know, that's why.
Got an email here. This was yesterday about Dusty May. Must have been what 2 or maybe 3 1/3 innings into his start.
3 2/3, 91 pitches.
Yeah, because it was already over. He said, "What a better person to stop a 7-game winning streak than a piece of garbage traded for by that garbage front office. The fact that Dustin May was not only traded for but started reaffirms this crap franchise that does not want to win a championship." He also says, "Great show on Netflix about the WWE. Someone who grew up in the age of Hogan and Macho Man. It's a breath of fresh air into wrestling." And finally, I think we need Fred, Hardy, and John bobblehead night with one of the minor league teams.
No.
Milo throws out the first pitch. Hardy talks with the lawn care professionals. And John gets in the announcer booth for an inning.
You did have a bobblehead night up in Lowell, if I remember correctly. And looking at Fred reading what you told him to read, he's got a smile on his face.
I'm just trying to figure out if he really wrote this or if this is...
He wrote it. No, nobody... AI didn't come up with that.
He didn't write all of it. He just inserted some things in because, like,
well,
Mr.
AI
Walling
could do that.
Signs of being a man caught between control and chaos. A personality built on precision, diligence, and timing, yet placed within the explosive improvisational hurricane of toucher and see, there's mistakes in this. You see, some of this is actually, I think, the AI that he got.
You're reading the one from Alexander Shapiro?
No, this is from Zachary Keefe.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I didn't get
the Zachary Keefe one I've seen.
I'll just start the one.
Why am I? If I don't have it, you read it. I don't have it.
You have it. It's sent to both of us.
When did it get sent?
9:02 a.m.
Oh, boy. All right.
Early life and career. Born in no one gives a bleep, Massachusetts, Wallach has inexplicably weaseled his way into a successful radio show to become their version of Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, see, this I would know is fake. This one I know is fake. The other one seemed real.
Despite his only job being to regurgitate updates, he feels the need to incessantly insert himself into interesting discussions with entirely useless opinions. And the next time John makes a useful point will be the first one, though it's extremely unlikely.
That's redundant.
That's just a taste. That's
no, but if
that's
he was
the amuse-bouche.
If he was the first time John made a useful point would be the first, it would be therefore extremely unlikely. It's unnecessary to say that, so that's a flaw in his own writing.
Having the personality of
I got your back.
Yeah, Fred, thanks.
Do you want to read the next one?
Sure.
I'm not sure I want to hear the rest of it.
Having the personality of a worn-out doorknob, John is unsurprisingly divorced, and it is nothing short of a miracle that he was married to begin with. But he's married again.
Twice, baby. Again. Twice.
And currently married.
Yes.
Despite the generosity of Sports Hub, John is not longed for the program and will soon need to seek alternative employment based on his skills, mental acuity, and popularity. Wallach is best suited to be a Walmart greeter or a counselor at a deaf-mute camp.
Oh, is that's a crack at me being deaf in one ear.
Birthstone and colors. John is colorblind and deaf, which doesn't stop him from interrupting anytime he hears a joke. His birthstone, an amply pooped upon hunk of granite, perfectly embodies his personality and value to society.
Wow. He was a chiseled block of granite. I got to be honest with you. This says more about the guy who wrote it than it does me.
Bingo.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, well, this is the one that actually sounds real. Likely cause of imminent death. Despite undergoing roadkill blood transfusion procedure in Mexico to look younger, John's demise will, and hopefully very soon from either, he will die, I guess is what he's trying to say. And hopefully very soon, I don't know. It's so poorly written, I can't even.
God.
Hopefully very soon, he wants you to die from either a smothering accident by an overaged hooker or a plastic straw choking competition. Though having been alive entirely too long, he will not be missed or remembered fondly by anyone.
Wow.
That's why. Wow. That's why I didn't want. That's why I didn't think we should.
What's
read
this guy's name?
That's Alex, who is at work.
Well, good for you, Alex. I'm sure that's very viable employment. The one that allows you that much time to write all of this. Good for you.
It wasn't needed in surgery. So
just like probably wasn't needed for long lengths of time.
Really?
How long did it take him to write this thing? My
Really?
God.
Yeah, because this one, the initial diagnostic impression suggests high-functioning neuroses channeled through structured performance and a subconscious yearning for affirmation. Like, that doesn't sound like this guy that did this one. This sounds like the real one. And I'm not being insulting. It's just the way it's written and the words that are used. And it also gets the show name wrong. It's the old show name. If I mock myself first, you can't hurt me. That's what it says.
Usually I don't get that opportunity.
Resilience, medical trauma, e.g. acoustic neuroma surgery. Is that what you had?
I had acoustic neuroma surgery.
That is available for people online. My goodness, that information.
That's, well...
Didn't stop him returning to the air. That speaks volumes.
Huh.
Consistency. You always know who Wallach will be. That's rare in radio. Subtle humor. He can be funny in a slow burn way. More New Yorker cartoon than Jackass. Never has a finer compliment ever been given. You're like a New Yorker cartoon.
Perfect. That's what I aspire to.
Yeah. I mean, those are known for how hysterical they are.
I like the piggy.
Yes, exactly. Isn't that a Ziggy? You stole a Ziggy. Emotional intelligence, though not flamboyant, he reads the room. He knows when to step back and when to steer. That's right.
Most of the time.
Fear of being forgettable. In a show filled with louder personalities, there's an unspoken fear, am I just background noise? See, this one seems more applicable than stupid Nick's one that he did on John. Fear of being misunderstood. When a joke misses, it's not just comedic failure. It feels like social failure. See, this all seems, I don't know if it's true or not, but it all seems more on than Nick's stupid one that he had done.
That sounds like it got
Nick failed.
Filtered through something.
Fear of obsolescence. As media gets faster, younger, and louder, he might worry, do I still have a place in this? See, mine came out career-wise very good compared to yours, John. Repressed rage. Let's not extort.
Well, that's true. That exists. That's
the
right.
Slight simmer underneath the smile. There is a mild, almost sweet resentment when he is cut off, mocked, or ignored. You hear in his measured sarcasm like a tea kettle just short of a whistle. See, this one's way better. He may not yell, but if he snapped one day and went full network, the first sentence would be, I've been showing up here for 16 GD years, and I still get talked over during headlines. Well, you don't get talked over during headlines. That's unfair to us, Hardy. This is slowly turned into something admonishing us.
Yeah, I don't care for that.
You have high-functioning performance anxiety, suppressed comedic narcissism, mild broadcaster's imposter syndrome, and Toucher and Hardy induced secondary chaos trauma.
Yeah, the suppressed rage thing is dead on.
You are psychologically sound but emotionally undernourished. His greatest need is not airtime but recognition, that structure has value, that dry humor is still humor, and that being the stable access in a spinning show is heroic in its own right. John, you are a metronome in a punk rock band. Underappreciated, unflashy, but without you, they lose the beat. You're not just reading headlines, you're keeping the whole circus from collapsing. Again, very similar to a female in a all-male show.
Perfect.
Johnny Wild Game.
Oddly, that's kind of how mine comes across too. Well, I'm going to send it to Adam, see if we want to read it tomorrow.
Oh, I absolutely want to hear
I don't
this.
need to read it to know that we need to read it tomorrow. Just because it will put you in a headspace that I would love to have you in for a segment on the radio.
We all did it. I think it's time. Your turn.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Wait until you have a girl send it to you for no reason.
No, that's true. You win the prize for the week.
With no
That's true.
explanation.
That
Just
must
send
have
it to
sucked.
you.
Yeah, I can
It didn't
see that.
suck so much as it was baffling.
Fred, email from Sarah from Everett.
Oh, boy.
I was hurt that Fred attacked me.
Oh, you.
May I continue, please? I was hurt. I was hurt that Fred attacked me. Not only physically, called me gross, body shamed, but attacked me mentally as well. And I wasn't on the phone to defend myself. Kind of a lowbrow move. I will explain and defend the last 3 emails I've sent him over the last few months. Thin skin
Last
Fred.
few months.
Thin skin Fred. Sarah from Everett.
Huh.
So where's the explanation?
Yeah, you got to pick up the phone.
Yeah,
and she'll explain it.
she wants you to call her.
I'll
She
pick up
wants
the
to get
phone.
it. Oh,
Okay.
all right. Here we go.
Yeah, there's no one on the phone. Again, Sarah with the Mensa like.
That's as passive aggressive as it gets.
Yeah, I like how F you, 100 times F you. Every email is F you. You suck. What you're saying sucks. You're dumb. You suck. And then I go, hey, cut it out. And then also and then I bring up the fairy tale that you said when you were walking dogs. If attacking your physical looks is refuting, now that I've met you, the story of that when I first saw you, I was just almost creepily leering and ogling at you.
Yeah.
If defending that point now that I've met you is somehow attacking your looks, well, then you know what? It was a defense move. You set up the board, my dear. But isn't that typical of a crazed listener? Is that you just send things, just poke, F you this, F you that, you suck. And then I get on the air and I go and I respond to your emails, which is what the email segment is. And now all of a sudden, that's mean. Okay, very good. That's great. Because it was completely out of nowhere. You've been so kind and lovely. And that just came out of nowhere.
The whole turtleneck over half your face thing was dead on also.
Well, see, John's taking shots too. So the thing is that you could feel free just not to participate in the show, and then your name will never be mentioned again. Plenty of people commented on what I said. I haven't read them because that I felt would be piling on. I've said my piece. I've reacted to the emails, which is what the email segment is. And the only reason I brought up the way she looks is she said I was uncomfortably ogling her and while she was walking down the Newton streets, which now I know there's no way that's true. And I mean, we can put me in a lie detector and her lie detector. I don't care. I'm more than comfortable saying that's not true. That never happened.
Are you saying you weren't trying to body shame? You're just saying she's not your type.
I'm saying I'm refuting that I'm a creepy, lurky, holding my gaze an uncomfortably long time person. Because even though that's true, it certainly wasn't to her.
All right, Sarah, you can call in at any time.
And I think it's best, Sarah, if we take a little break for the next few years. Maybe that's the best recipe for this whole thing.
Years.
Yeah.
Years. Okay.
Yeah, I just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna refute what Fred said by not refuting anything.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. The joke's over. That's not funny to me anymore. All right, very good. Yeah, I was very nice to her while she was here, but I don't know why she just has to send me negative stuff every single day. I don't understand. Very good. All right, and I didn't bring her up today. All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment to bring this ship to shore.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy.
app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Did I mention that someone's bid on the card? That now there's a $5,000 bid on the J.J. McCarthy card?
No,
just
you
mentioned
did
it
not.
during the break.
Yeah. I didn't know if
That's
I
it.
mentioned that.
Last minute, you were talking about
Well,
this.
it's 11 hours left.
But, I mean, the point is, relatively speaking, this is last minute.
We're just priming the pump. We're just throwing $1 in the tip jar before.
He gets taken. You don't get $5,000. How
No.
much money is taken away from this?
Well, the taxes are taken out, and then there's also a fee that it might be even 10% that eBay might take.
Adam, Fred would like you to engage in an uncut gems type of situation here. He wants you to bid up the card a little bit throughout the day.
Yeah, juice
Now,
it up, sure.
There's a chance you might be on the hook for like $7,000 or $8,000.
Yeah, no problem. I got that.
He's a huge football fan,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
The J.J. McCarthy thing was
That's
sitting
right.
well
Yeah.
next to his trombone case.
That's right. He plays football, J.J. McCarthy.
I have to get to this. This is too good to ignore. Are you familiar with the Mariko Aoki phenomenon?
No.
Okay. Written about by one Mariko Aoki. She wrote about this in a magazine. It is the bookstore poop theory. This is the sudden urge to defecate that some people experience upon entering a bookstore. It's not scientifically proven, but it's a well-known idea, particularly in Japan, where they're into things like this. I mean, where it was first described. So, there are theories as to why this phenomenon exists. Number one, nervousness or stress. The act of browsing books, especially when you're looking for something specific, can induce stress and anxiety, and that speeds up the intestinal transit and triggers the urge.
Why would that make you nervous?
I got to find this book. I got to poop.
You could just go on the internet and put the name of the book in and click a button. I mean, I think a bookstore nowadays is more of the opposite of that. It's a stroll through the
Conditioned response. Some suggest it might be learned behavior, as some people associate reading with using the toilet. Pavlov's dog.
Well, and if you've ever been to a library's bathroom, people use the walls as a toilet.
Yeah.
The smell of ink or paper. Well, not a widely accepted theory. The smell of ink or paper has been suggested as a potential trigger, though it's not consistently observed in other settings with similar smells.
It's unfair to John, though, because the smell of newsprint does get him to defecate, because it reminds him of his childhood cage.
There's, of course, the parasympathetic nervous system activation, where after you enter the bookstore, that might trigger the nervous system, also known as the rest and digest system, which can stimulate bowel movements. That is the parasympathetic nervous
There you go.
And anytime I used to tell my mother that my stomach hurt, and I think she's done it with my kids too, she would go like, have you tried sitting on the toilet? Have you tried sitting on the toilet?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common motherly...
It's almost like she was a doctor.
Yeah.
It's good advice. Now you've got a stomach ache and hemorrhoids.
Yeah, exactly. Have
Finally,
you tried pushing really, really hard?
Finally, why would you have to poop when you go into a bookstore? Simple relaxation. Some speculate that the calm and relaxing atmosphere of a bookstore might allow the body to relax, including the digestive system.
Yeah, when Nick was discovered covered in his own feces, the problem was that he just got a massage.
Oh, they had copies of Mad Magazine around him. He's just reading the...
I wonder if
his
this
favorite
whole...
periodical caused him to defecate.
I didn't even have to do it. Now it's done for me. It's become part of the...
Zeitgeist.
Correct, Jonathan.
Zeitgeist. Well, that was a very German pronunciation.
Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist.
All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a tremendous Thursday. We shall be back tomorrow unless something horrible happens. And then what can I tell you?
Great.
I've done this many times, Hardy, and yet nothing has befallen us.
Okay.
Or befallen us. Whatever the terminology.